earlier has driven me away from that because it's like, God, that's everything I hate.
It kind of leaned in hard into being basically satire, so I'm kind of okay with it. I just want to see how it ends.
I don't know. Well, it's like...
See, Ramon told me to hit the abort button, but Jordan didn't hit the abort button, so I absorbed more than I had wanted to.
I get that. It's one of those, you're invested, you're already in there, might as well see how it goes.
Right.
That's how I was with Bleach.
Yeah. Speaking of Bleach, Burn the Witch
It's not
actually good, but it's also like 4 chapters, and it's going to be a movie, and a lot of effort into who cares.
What I read was sort of reminding, man, Kubo's really great at character designs, but his stories are pretty.
Who's ready for
Danmachi
Season 3?
The problem with the story is that, the problem with it is, it needs... because I've been reading the limited series, and the problem is apparently there's only going to be 4 chapters of it, and it's just, it feels a lot like, when it's going to be over, it's just sort of like, your preview of Burn the Witch has ended. Please enter your credit card information to get the full series. And there isn't a full series. This wasn't a 4-chapter story. This was 4 chapters of new Bleach. That doesn't yet have the extra 120 chapters.
Doesn't it say that it's in the same world as Bleach?
It's apparently set in the same world as Bleach.
Which is really fucking weird, because it's like, over there in Japan they got evil Mexico, and over here we got dragons.
They've got evil Mexico.
Which I mean, it's true though.
It's true.
That's the whole motif.
That's the first time I've heard it described as that.
Look, Hollows.
I don't know why it's my first now.
The Hollows are in what's called Hueco Mundo. Hueco means hollow in Spanish. Evil Mexico.
Evil Mexico. It really throws you off, right? Because it's like you have.
I'm never going to be able to unsee that.
Your Japanese Reaper goes to fight the evil Mexican spirits, and occasionally have to have interference by the Nazi archers.
Alright, I think on that, let's get started.
I feel like that should have been on the live stream. It's just like, hey, here's our quick commentary.
The live stream is started. Alright.
Oh, how long have we been going?
A while.
I told you were going to be able to complain about your anime, and that was the last thing. And as soon as you finished, I started it, and then the discussion continued. I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay, well, we appreciate it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we're all here to hang out and have fun. So as long as we're having fun, it is.
Anyway, that's the Ilderon Nobles group's take on Bleach. You're welcome.
Alright, welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is the Nobles, and Saga 1, Book 3, Episode 18 is what we're in. We are playing Dungeons & Dragons tonight. Everything you are going to see is going to be live storytelling. Nothing is scripted, and the story can go in any direction. If you tune in regularly, we lost a player for this group for the best possible reasons. The player who controls Alexander is going on to do bigger and better things, getting ready for the next stage of his life. As such, that character will be transitioning out, and we have a new player joining us tonight. Gareth, do you want to say hello and maybe 2 sentences about your character?
Sure. Hello there, everyone. I'm playing as Sergej Yadith, and I am going to be the investigator for the group.
Alrighty.
And
investigative rogue.
The final 3 things before we get started tonight. If you want to learn more about the setting we're playing in, you can Google search IlderonTales.com. Oh, well, you don't have to Google search it. That's an address. You can go straight there, literally straight there, and learn about the world. And if you are under the age of 14, the material you are going to see tonight is not appropriate for you. And finally, if you are talking in the YouTube live feed, super difficult for me to read that, please look into the description of the stream and join the Discord. With that, let's jump into Le Recap. So I did a good this week. I actually read through the entire recap well before the session, and then I read through it a second time right before the session. So I'm a little versed in what happened last session. So last session starts off on the 27th of Noble. The party is waiting around at the fountain. They had just finished up their quest with Eshes and were trying to decide if they should return to the capital or if they should go to Demon Store. After a little bit of convincing, Reyna convinces the party to hold off on going to Demon Store just for one day. And she teleports the party, intending to go back to the capital of Ardor Sarai, which is Ardor, and she acts the teleport mishaps, and instead the party is teleported to Old Reldian. With that done, though, the party's able to find a tavern to stay in for the night. With getting a couple of rooms, they are able to allow Reyna to regain the rest she needs to regain the magic she needs in order to actually get them home. On the morning, and that night, or during the night, Anderson has another bad dream. It seems that this is almost a consistent thing every time he goes to sleep. Yeah, and the party wakes up on the 28th of Noble. As everybody is getting ready, Reyna gets ready to take the party back to Ardor Sarai, but the party explains that now that she has the magic to teleport to Demon Store and then back to Ardor Sarai, there's no need to go to Ardor Sarai just yet. Convincing her to take them to Demon Store. After that, Reyna teleports the whole party directly into Ira Alla's fortress and leads them, as if she has been here on multiple occasions before, straight through the fortress and into Ira Alla's throne room. The throne room itself is a very prestigious affair. At the entrance of the party featuring Reyna and Asu Andrea, Ira Alla is excited to see them and claims she would have hosted celebrations had the party sent word ahead that they were coming. With that, a little bit of negotiations goes back and forth as Reyna is aware that Ira Alla would try and get as much as she can possibly from the party as far as social leverage is concerned. And they negotiate upon having a short breakfast, the two of them, while the party is given the ability to collect themselves, just starting off their day. While Reyna and Ira Alla and Asu Andrea eat breakfast. No, not Asu Andrea. Reyna and Ira Alla. Asu Andrea and the party goes wandering through the fortress. They find the secret library that, it used to be hidden here. Now it is a open treasure. Well, not open. It's a treasure of Ira Alla's collection. As the party steps into the library, the passageway shifts behind them, locking them in the library until the Earth Elementals let them out. At which point, after a little bit of convincing and a little bit of searching, they find some books that explain some lost knowledge of Ilderon that they have not had access to, specifically about the Lost Shattering. Exactly what information you guys gleaned, I don't wholly 100% remember, so I hope you guys took good notes. I'll try my best to refresh you.
I took the best notes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and from there, as the party was reading this book they procured, the stewardess of the fortress came up to them and informed them that Ira Alla wanted to see them. As the party went back to the main chambers, they found that Ira Alla had set up 6 separate interrogation rooms for the party and asked to speak with each one of them alone. As each person separated into their rooms, she went into each room and discussed things with that individual party member. Ira Alla is passively able to read the minds of people around her, and she probed the party's mind for bits of information, and she also, in exchange, offered gifts and offerings to the party, offering to fulfill any of their desires. That said, she gave Anderson She mended the link with Anderson's mind. She gave Alexander the knowledge on how to protect his mom from Asuandria's voice. She told Claw that she could cure him of his half lycanthropy, and also gave him one of her servants out of her employ. Kenneth wanted nothing. He didn't even want to rid himself of wants. Lumilia wanted negative nothing. She was increasingly frustrating. And Stradora said what she wanted, but when Ira'ala offered to fulfill the desires, Stradora did not take her up on that. With that, the Ira'ala answered a couple of the party members' questions. The only important bit of information that is returning to my mind that I think was asked of her was why she's so interested in Asuandria, and the answer that was given was that Asuandria's soul is like a beacon for things in the bridge, and she and Ira'ala does not get along with the people from her home. And if any of them are coming to her new home, she would like to be the first one to welcome them. And by welcome them, the complete opposite of a normal welcome, and more like the demon's welcome, which is to kill them and throw them back outside. Moving from there, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be eating on stream. So not professional. What happened? Reyna was called back, and the party was allowed to meet back together. Reyna explained that during the bargainings and negotiations with Fianne Ira'ala, she agreed to increase her the taxes she's paying to the throne for her territory, simply for the opportunity to have one private conversation with each of the party members. Reyna was aware that Ira'ala could read minds, but there wasn't any information that you guys knew that Ira'ala wasn't already informed of from the throne, as Ariana is pretty involved with the provincial lords, or at least keeping them updated. That said, Reyna didn't think it was much of a risk to allow you guys that conversation, and was pretty much a gain-gain. From there, the party all teleported back to Ardersarai, to the castle Zenith Rise, while after they teleported, Reyna informed the party why she had been so hard on Asuandria. She wasn't given a strict upbringing, and it was really by fate and by chance that she got to where she's at today. And she let her status go to her head. That said, Ira'ala said some things to her that really were... I forget what's the term, pants shrinker? That basically brought her back down to Earth, and reminded her that she didn't start out as a high and powerful mage either. And with that, Reyna was going to try and be more mindful of the party. She really does want the best for them, and sometimes her idea of the best gets a little intense. Then from there, the party decided to have breakfast and start... Or not breakfast. Yeah, you guys did. No, it was lunchtime. It was lunchtime at that point. Guys decided to have lunch. Yeah. As you were eating lunch, somebody let it slip that Reyna might have caused all of the shattered tieflings right now to be stuck in their demonic forms. And that Reyna's mistake might have had something to do with Asuandria. When prodded for more information, the party didn't really have more information, but they knew that Asuandria using divine magic was the source of whatever mistake Reyna made. And with that, Ostrander was able to put together that, with enough information, at least of things she remembered, that her memory had been altered, as she had never been allowed to use or experiment with divine magic, which is why Reyna is so closely tied to Ostrandra's studies. After a little bit more conversation, the party found out, or rather, Ostrandra was able to put together that it likely wasn't Donaganya who altered her mind, but Reyna herself. Feeling incredibly hurt and betrayed, Ostrandra considered using her power for a moment before the party stood up and tried to stop her. Ostrandra came to the decision that she wasn't going to use her power, but she told the party to not stand in her way, as she is going to go confront her mother, or else she will speak out loud. With that, let's just time skip 2 hours, and we'll pick up from... No, I'm kidding. We'll pick up from right there. All right. So, what is it? It's the 28th of Noble?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are in... you're in the feast hall of Zenith Rise.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It is midday, moving towards the afternoon. And let's get some proper music for this. All right. The party is sitting and some standing around the table. Ostrandra has written her note and put it on the table on the parchment. She is going to exhale, looking at everybody as she prepares to turn and walk away. What do you guys want to do?
Where am I positioned? Because I tried grappling her at the end of the last session.
Yeah, I feel like you would be in front of her, but you are probably just out of arm's reach of her, as she did use acrobatics to avoid your grapple.
So, I guess to double check, how did she... Because you just said, like, she showed it across the table, but, like, the way you described it at the end of last session was, like, more or less put it in my face. So...
Oh. Yeah. I guess, yeah, she'll have it,
It felt very much directed more at me, because I was the one that went for the grapple.
Okay. Yeah, that was my bad. I didn't review last session. I just read the recap, but yeah. So if she's holding it, she'll be holding it, and it's in her hand. I feel like she wouldn't sit there for like an hour and a half with it out, so she'd hold it out to you guys and then move her tablet back between her arms and her chest.
Yeah, I mean, so if she makes like a gesture, sort of like to show it, then I would like step forward and I'm gonna smack her right across the face.
All right, roll me an attack roll.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Welcome to the Ilderon Tales, everybody.
This is for you, Wesley. This nat 1 is for you. Dedicate this right now to my boy Wesley.
Be nat 20. Be nat 20. It'd be so funny.
It's a 4 proficient. God, I knew it was gonna be like this. Proficiency bonus plus. I think it's a 10. Yeah, it's a 10.
All right.
I'm proficient with my bare hands, and then it's a strength attack. So.
She is just going to narrowly move out of the way of your slap. I need dice, and I also need to stop saying I've gone all day without that word, and now it is creeping back into my vocabulary.
Been doing so well, and now
Wow, Rob, you've missed twice now.
I don't even know anymore.
Hey, I say just roll 20 times not 20 times, roll 5 times, get the bad rolls out of the way, and then let's go. I need to set the parameters of this check.
Anderson
Oh.
can step in.
Alright. She does have her spell book at her waist. Her hand goes to it as you smack at her face. But instead she's going to hold up a finger. Just like telling Stradora to wait.
Like huff. It's like, no, do whatever you want. Megalore, her highness wants to whine to her teacher. I'm gonna leave.
Alright. Stradora starts walking away. I feel at that, Ostrander is going to adjust her clothes, and she's going to start walking away too.
Anderson is going to be looking.
I'm going after Andrea.
Oh, you're going after Andrea?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay,
sit down and eat my breakfast.
Breakfast is ruined for me.
This is lunch. BT Dubs.
Brunch has been ruined for me by these kids.
Sit down and eat my brunch.
I'm going to follow Aussie too.
Alright, so we have Kenneth and Anderson. Lumilia stays to eat.
Okay, wait. When I see them all leaving, I'm gonna pick up my brunch and follow them.
Okay. What is Claw doing?
So, oh, sorry, I thought it was off mute. So, Lumilia.
Everybody is going with Aussie, except for me.
Well, let E make up his own mind.
Oh no, sorry, that wasn't me dictating. That was like that's where we're at. You're the
Yeah, no, that's fair. Oh lord. I'm gonna flip a coin because I'm not sure what Claw would do here at the moment.
Claw actually takes out a coin.
Yeah, no,
Hey.
he's actually gonna do that. He's
Yeah, I
done
mean,
that
you guys
before.
have dealt with the the god of fortune, so.
what is like what's heads, what's tails?
Alright, you know what, Rob? Call it, and if you get it right, I'm not following you.
Heads.
It's tails. Alright.
Let's go on an adventure, Rob.
Alright, Claw goes after Stradora.
Yep.
Alright, whew. Evens, odds. Alright, evens. Alexander is going to follow Claw and Stradora too.
Yeah, that makes an absolute amount of sense.
Alright, so here we go. I don't have much content for Stradora, Claw, and Alexander. You guys give me a direction. Where's Stradora heading so that can be burned or thinking on the back of my mind.
I was gonna go to my room. I didn't expect to have company.
Okay.
Because nobody seems to learn that I get mad every time you do this to me.
Stradora wants to brood, and basically we're like the two pesky friends. There's like the pesky friend.
Like, I had a plan in place. It didn't involve company.
If she outright states that to Claw, it's just kind of fair enough.
Yeah, you're gonna basically get like it's like leave me alone! I don't need a babysitter!
Alright, Stradora.
Stradora wants to whine and brood by her.
Alrighty then, Stradora. Just try not to do anything else that might get you in trouble. And I'll go ahead and head to the training range.
Alright. We will come back to Stradora and Alexander.
Matter. En route to my room, I would try to acquire writing goods. Paper and ink.
Okay. I will get back to you on that. So, Anderson, Kenneth and Lumilia. You guys follow behind Asuandria quite a few steps, and I need to do a evens or odd check. Okay, cool. Asuandria walks into the central rise. Inside of the central rise, you are going to see at the top chamber, or at the I guess I need to be more descriptive because we have a new player tonight. So I will try and be very quick with my descriptions, but also let you guys know where you're at. So as you step through the central chamber, or the central rise, this is the large open hall of the castle where the commoners and the public are let in. In the middle of this room, it's almost like a theater, like a circular theater. There is a raised dais, and upon the dais there is a long table. At the table there are different administrators of the nation and a head table. There's a large line of people in this chamber that each are lined up to... Well, actually, how long is this line today? Average. So there's a large line of people that are lined up to go to the person at this head table, and you can see whatever their complaints are or whatever they're bringing up, that it is actively being answered by the administrators at this table. Whereas you'd expect the magnate, who is the leader of the country, to be sitting at the head seat. Instead, it is her stewardess, who is currently at the seat. And her name, Listella. And Asuandra is going to walk up to the stewardess, moving straight past the rest of the line. And she is going to say, "Where's my mother?" At which Listella is going to say, "The consort regent and the magnate are both in council and the magnate's keep." And she's going to nod and continue walking. Moving through the central rise into the magnate's keep. This is a huge two-floored room. On the upper floor is two balconies on either side of the room. Each floor of this room itself is like 20 to 30 feet tall. And there is just like a huge open echoing the space. Pillars hold up the second floor balcony. And the back of the room, there is a large door that leads up a stairwell. But in the middle of the back of the room is where the Ardorian throne rests. There are 3 seats there. One of them is occupied. And standing behind the occupied seat, there is a man with fiery red hair holding a sword. You guys will recognize him as Oro Asuen. And you will also recognize the woman sitting in the chair as Ariana Bertholf. Let me just pull all of these people out. The amazing Thrasidanius Wonder Spoon. That's
Wait,
cool.
he's there?
No, I have him here, but I'm looking. It's like, where are my Bertholfs?
I was like, the hell is he doing here?
He's secretly their best agent.
I have a whole folder, Bertholf Asuens. All right.
That'd be a hell of a
There's
twist.
too many Bertholfs.
It would be hell of a twist.
There are, between the Bertholfs and Asuens, there's 5 of them. Or 6 of them. Eldrick, Maria, Oro, Ariana, Marlena, and Asuandria.
How
Those-
did Andrea wind up with black hair?
Her mom?
Her mom has brown hair.
Oh,
Her grandmother.
demon.
Demons do that sometimes. Now, actually, for Osmandria, believe it or not, I used Art Breeder to create this portrait, and I did breed the portrait from Ariana and Oro's portraits first.
That's because Abby doesn't know how genetics work.
It tries. Alright, so, stepping into the room, there are another set of figures here. You don't all recognize them, but go ahead and roll me some history checks. You guys see Mon in here. You also see a dark-skinned elf, or Dorai, in here who is talking. You also see two more people you don't wholly recognize, but Kenneth's read a book.
Kenneth's read a lot.
I looked at a book. It had pictures.
It had pretty witches.
Which is impressive given the time period.
Yeah, they really did their job drawing.
Why do I do this to myself?
You are going to Kenneth is going to recognize the Dorai as the Arch-Arcanist Dilo and Rona, the leader of the Maphis University, which is the premier magical college in Ilderon. Oh, and the final person that is in this room, Reyna, is here listening to this discussion. And she is standing behind the throne. Ooh, that's a lot of description of people. I forgot how many NPCs were in this campaign that I've just been shorthanding. I'm just like, it's Oro, it's Ariana, it's Reyna.
It's me, I'm Mario.
Alright, well, finally, I guess I will give the description of Reyna, and then we will jump into this. Alright, so, Matt, I hope you're taking good notes, because I expect you to remember every single one of these names. I'm kidding. Reyna.
Oh God, help me!
Dumont's full title. Go.
Head diviner Reyna Renopal Surreal is also in this room. She is standing behind the throne on the other side of Oro. Reyna has distinguishing features. She is clearly a little Nagian as far as her genetic phenotype. It's standing, next to all of these Ardorians, but she has stark green hair that I guess contrasts against everybody else's features. And let's see. Well, she's got a spell book on her too, and I don't know if there's any other defining features. She probably have a badge of office somewhere on her person. As to what that exactly looks like, I don't have it written out in my mind. All right. With that said, the whole scene is set as again, Oswandria is going to step into this room. Her footsteps echoing, the conversation pausing as people look back at the entering party. Ariana is going to stand from her throne and say, Oswandria, I'm so happy that you've returned. I fretted, but when I received Reyna's sending last night, and to know that you were all okay, it put me at rest. I do plan on seeing to you. I just need to deal with this matter first. Oswandria has a scowl on her face as she ignores her mother's statement. Walking up to the throne, she's going to look at Reyna and say, "Did you alter my mind?"
Great start.
Reyna is going to inhale, exhale, and say, Oswandria, we've had a conversation about your voice. You've been doing so well lately. Oswandria is going to bite her bottom lip in anger. She is going to look at the party, who is very distinctly lacking in Alexander. And Ariana is going to look...
I feel hurt by the description.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's also very distinctly lacking in me.
Oh, well, no. Reyna told Alexander a secret.
Oh.
So the only one who had this knowledge was Alexander. So she clearly knows 100% where the leak came from, because it was her and him alone in a hallway. At which point, Ariana is going to look towards Reyna and say, Reyna, how? She look. Alessandra is going to say, is it true? Oro is going to speak up and say, what is going on here? I think we're all owed an explanation. At which point, Reyna's going to exhale and say, yes. It wasn't originally my idea to bring in a diviner who specialized in mind-altering magic, but the usefulness that Donaganya provided could not be understated, especially when dealing with some of the issues that we struggle with. For a brief time, I did fulfill this role, and upon which, yes, I did use a very powerful spell to alter your memories. Oro is going to put a hand on his sword, not drawing it, looking towards Reyna. That's it. You're done. You're out of here. We've tried our entire lives to protect her, and you're playing with her mind? Ariana is going to speak up and say, she did it under my command. At which point, Asuandria is going to just let out a exhale, like just a brief gasp, and say, unbelievable. That's it. I'm out of here. I'm not listening to any of you any longer. Reyna is going to speak up and say, Asuandria, she's going to stop and say, no. The truth is not some story that you all just get to agree on. It's something clearly none of you understand. She is going to turn around and walk out of the chamber the same way she came, as the party is there watching this. Everybody in the chamber is a little bit silent. Do you guys want to do anything? Because otherwise I'll just sit here and keep talking to myself.
I was like, I'm gonna go continue following Aussie. I guess.
I guess I'll look at them and say, apologize for the interruption, everyone.
I don't.
Yeah, I know you don't. You go ahead and follow them.
I'm gonna watch.
She's gone through a lot recently. Very recently, in a very short amount of time. I don't know why you kept this from her. I don't know what it is that happened. I personally think it'd be a good idea for you to tell her what happened. She's a big girl. She can handle it. And if it really sounds like she just wants to get away from all of you. There's nowhere she can really go that's safe here. And I look at Dila, at least here in this country.
Oh.
She seems pretty good at magic. I'm not good at magic myself, so I have no idea.
Alright, let me sort through these bajillions of NPCs I have. And Dila is going to look back at where Oswandria had left, and she's going to look to the magnate and say, "Oh, I only wish to inform the magnate of Artaserai of the findings of the convocation of minds. Said if I've interrupted a inter-family matter, it was not my intention." She'll look to Reyna and say, "I've heard stories of your magic and what Gilsong has blessed you with. If I can inquire, what was so prevalent that," she looks towards the magnate, "that required such an action?" Ariana and Reyna are going to go silent. They both kind of look down and away. Finally, Ariana's going to speak up and say, "She's always been different. When I came to power, I didn't have whole control over the forces that were within this castle. Somebody from my own diviner's quarters put a very powerful hex on me that possessed and affected Oswandria while I was carrying her. She's been, from conception, been exposed to forces that children and arcanists shouldn't, and mages shouldn't ever be exposed to, at least not until much later in their lives. She has had a certain sensitivity for magic, and we thought that what was affecting her was perhaps a condition that could be ended." Reyna is going to nod and say, "When it couldn't be dispelled through arcane matters, through divine matters, we sought to perhaps have her have a cure, but her body seemed resistant to allowing such foreign magic. So I taught her the basic incantations and what she needed to do to channel it herself. And Ariana is going to say it tore apart something. As to what, we don't really know." Reyna's going to shake her head and say, "Reality itself splintered and reshaped itself. The people that were around, the people that were closest to her, the magnate and I, it was almost worse than death." Dila's going to nod, seeming to absorb this. Ariana is going to say, "We weren't dying, but there were about 20 of us. All of us just slowly fading from even being." Reina is going to say, I got desperate. I used a form of very powerful magic that I can never do again. I was able to undo the effects, but the effects of the spell I cast cascaded around the world. And Aswandrio was never the same. She spent weeks refusing to eat, sleep, come out of her room, or even talk to anybody. Ariana's gonna say, I just wanted her to have a nice childhood. So we just erased it from her mind. Oro is going to grip his sword, scowl, look at Ariana, and then just walk out of the chamber.
I'm gonna follow him.
I'm gonna sigh.
Anderson,
Hey!
roll me a history check.
Oh, history? I'd probably help to have my character sheet open. Cool.
You don't understand this, but God,
I also didn't stay in the room.
Oh wait, yeah, you left. Never mind. Ha! That was my fault for not moving your card to the nowhere. Oh no, you're the with the Aswandria group. Okay.
Yeah.
At that, Dila is going to rub her chin and say, very interesting. She was able to affect the bindings of other people. Reina is going to say, the what? Bindings? Dila is going to nod and say, it's a elven form of magic, not much used on this continent. Very seldom in use anymore. It's not much like magic in any sense. The closest thing that your kind might know of it would be perhaps a druid reshaping their entire being into something else. Reina's going to nod and say, I've heard of this before. One of our provincial lords, Iraala, she can do something of this nature. Reina's going to look at Ariana and say, Your Majesty, with your permission, I'd like to study more on this matter. Ariana is going to nod and say, I've already pushed you to do so much. Take the next 2 days to do as you please. Reina is going to nod and bow and say, yes, your grace. If you need me, simply have any one of my diviners send me a sending, and I will be back at your call. Reina is going to walk by Lumilia and Kenneth.
I went with Oro.
Oh yeah, you did go with Oro. Let me move your card. Cool. So I have character cards in front of me, and I arrange the cards in the groups that people are in. So it's like when I look at a scene, it's like, okay, I need to describe this to this person. I know who's with who, and I just like left those cards there. That was my bad. So Kenneth is the only one who hears that last part. All right. Kenneth, is there anything else you want to do?
Well, now that
Oh, go ahead.
Reina has passed me as I stand there awkwardly, I will look to the two people and say, I apologize if any of this brought up any Sounds like very unpleasant memories. I'll be on my way and trying to find the princess.
All right. Kenneth goes princess bound. Was there anything that
Kenneth is the best.
Do a slight bow.
Okay. Yeah, Kenneth goes princess bound. All right. Claw went to the training yard. Let's jump over to Stradora and Alexander.
Grumble, grumble, stomp, stomp.
All right. You are able to find a writing utensil, and you are able to lock yourself in your room and brood and write Edgar Allan Poe poetry. I'm kidding. When you close your door, after a few moments, there is a knock on your door for Stradora.
Fine, I guess I'll go and open it.
Stradora, it's best boy Alexander.
No.
He's going to say, "Look, do you have a minute?"
Do I have a choice?
No.
He's going to shrug and say, "I can either talk to you from this side of the door or that side of it."
Well, if you're gonna talk through the door, I guess you can come in.
He steps in and he's going to say, "Look, I understand why you did what you did. And I think Andrea has been doing well with restraint. But you and I know that it's only going to be so long until she slips up. And she accidentally does something that she can't take back. Down there was proof. I want to help you guys, and I want to help her get better. But I need to make sure that my mom's safe. I'm going to be leaving. When I know that she's able to freely resist whatever is going on with Andrea, I'll be back. I just thought you should hear it from me."
Well, take care, stay safe, don't do anything stupider than you're usually going to do.
Oh. You know what? Alexander's going to say, all of those back to you. Starts walking out the door and it's going to say, especially that last one. And I think he'll chuckle and step out.
And I'm going to go back to writing.
Okay. Do I need to know what you're writing?
I am writing the report I was instructed to make by my order captain.
Oh yeah, that. Okay, cool. Alright, Claw is in the training yard. Lumilia, I haven't given you any screen time this session.
I am okay with that, but okay.
Well, I'm trying to be as fair as I possibly can.
I'm just gonna make sure Oro doesn't do something stupid and then go find the others.
Oh,
Run away again.
Oro never ran away. His mind was altered. Yeah, his mind was altered against his will, and he left. So he might be having some type of feelings about.
You're shadowing an Othwin to keep them from doing something stupid. You have the wrong one.
Oro.
One that I care about.
Oro is going to head outside, and actually, yeah, Oro's going to go to the training yard. I guess if Claw's out there at this point, I don't know if Claw's watching people train out in the courtyard. He's going to call over to one of the castle guards, and he's going to say, "Set me up a dummy." A few moments later, one of the guards and a servant brings one of the dummies with a sand sack tied to it.
Yeah, Claw would be kind of people watching.
Yeah. At which point,
Playing with the snake.
Oro is just going to pick up one of the training swords and start going at this thing. Lumilia, you get the feeling he's going to be here for a while.
I'll just be sitting like, so you want to talk about how you weren't here to stop your wife from doing something terrible to your daughter? Or you want to just beat up a dummy?
Oro is going to save. What is there to say about it?
Well, you could say why you think it's wrong and consider how Asuandria feels and that she doesn't trust her mother, so maybe you should go be a father for the first time in a few years.
Few years, full decade.
You were gone
Oro-
longer than I've been alive. Maybe it's time to go be a parent. Oops, sorry.
Oro's gonna hit this thing once, and I'm just gonna roll him an attack roll at this if he's able to break it. He's going to hit it, and I will say 5 points of damage. He deals 13, and he is going to break the head off of this dummy, probably shattering the wooden sword too, as he does it. Oro has always been a precision fighter, and that was not a feat of precision at all. As this thing topples over, he's going to look back
I'm gonna
at...
slowly clap.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's proud of that. He's gonna look back at Lumilia and say, yeah, I don't know what to say to her. I don't know what to do. I'm still struggling with the same thing myself. I'm just getting over years of being brainwashed, but you heard what they said. She's resistant to the magic that cured me. It's not like it can ever be undone to her.
Cool. You've been through what she's going through right now. You have something in common with her. Maybe talk about that. Or, just give her a hug, because you're her freaking father.
Oro is going to exhale and say, You're right. You're right. Dams. Alright. What is your rank? You're not a Sagite anymore.
I'm a Shia daughter.
Yeah.
I'm the daughter of princess.
I feel like you'd say, damn clergy. Alright.
I'm barely clergy.
Oro.
Don't get snipped with your future daughter-in-law.
Oh, and then maybe have a talk with your wife about how she needs to figure out the difference between a mother and a magnate. Because if I say it again, I'm gonna get in more trouble.
Oro is going to start walking back towards the castle. Does Lumilia follow him?
I'm gonna go grab Claw first. Drag him along whether he wants to or not.
Oh!
Yeah. Before Oro completely walks away from you, he's gonna look back and say, "Hey, Earthfire! I know I thanked you for what you did for Maria and I, but again, thank you."
Just gonna keep walking.
Alright, he turns and heads back to the castle. You go and get Claw. You guys can give me a direction, but the final group I'm going to jump over to is Anderson and Kenneth, and then I'm going to fast forward time.
Oh, once I grab Claw, I'm going after Oro. I want to find Asuandria too.
Okay.
And
All right.
Claw doesn't get a choice.
Anderson, Kenneth, and Asuandria, I am not going to I'm not going to, say everything like that Andrea is saying, but as like she's walking through these halls, she's just like the whole time she's walking, she's just like muttering, and every now and then you see her like stop, like as she passes by another person, and she's silent. It's just like, did you believe them? The nerve of them! They just do what they want, and they command me. They're no better than Ira They treat me like an object. God, I can't stand this place, and to think that I thought that they cared, and just like the whole time she's walking, just kind of frustratedly just venting. How long do you guys follow her? Or do you want to say anything?
I want to mentally prod her.
Okay. I mean, her mind would probably be saying the same thing, only like she probably wouldn't be pausing.
Well, just via the silent link, it's like, do you want to talk? Like, I'm very concerned for you.
She's going to shake her head, and speaking out loud, she's going to say, "My whole life they've said." She pauses as somebody walks by. After they get a couple steps away, I said, "Good princesses don't lie. They always told me good princesses don't lie. Tell the truth." And this is the truth. Lie after lie after lie after lie. And when they say they're done lying, there's more lies.
Did she say that out loud, or did she say that in her mind to him?
Out loud.
Okay. I'll tell her, do you want to go somewhere so you can actually talk and not have to worry about people walking by?
She's walking towards her room, and she says, "I'm going to my room. I am packing up my stuff, and I'm leaving. They've never physically forced me to stay here. I always obeyed and did what I was told because I thought they had my best interests in heart. But no, they were just controlling me."
Where do you want to go?
That's a good question. She stops and thinks for a moment, and she's like, "Well, Mon was down there. That was the person Eshes was pretending to be. He said he wants to help me with my power. I suppose I'll try and see if I can catch him leaving the castle. I don't know, wherever he goes, I'll go. Just anyway away from here."
Still gotta pass the trial so he can teach you how to use your powers. You still want to study your magic, right? Get better at that?
She nods and says, "Except I'm not going to be spoon-fed spells to put in my spell book that Raina gives me. I'll study what I want to study."
Man, if only there was a place out here in Ilderon where you can study your magic. Really.
She is going to think for a moment, and you know what? I'm going to roll her I rolled her an intelligence check, but I'm also going to roll her a insight check too. And she's going to have no idea that Kenneth is leading her on. She's going to say, "There is some place like that. There's a university. I should see if I can apply there. I mean, if there's an entrance exam, I probably already know enough to get in whatever field I want to study in."
Man, it would be sure convenient if you could speak with someone in charge of that place if they just so happen to be here.
She's gonna
do I have to spoon feed her?
No, she's gonna stop and think, and it's like, "You're right, Kenneth. I should talk to Dila before she leaves."
Good girl.
Andrea is going to pick up the haste, heading to her quarters. Anderson, do you want to say anything? Because otherwise I'm going to fast forward through this.
I'm gonna wait for her to leave the room, and then I'm gonna turn to you. It's like, you are an evil mastermind,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
and I love it.
All right. You guys follow Oswandra to her room. A few moments later, as she is frantically packing up stuff, saying what subjects she's going to study, and how excited she is about seeing the things at the university, just like idly as she's doing stuff, there is a knock on the door. Oro's the consort regent. He doesn't have to wait to get entry, but I feel like he would.
He better.
Yeah.
I guess I'll ask to see. So he's knocking on the door, and there's no guards outside the room, is there?
There would be, but I mean,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
But he is her dad and also the king of Ardor, so
You can't just barge into his daughter's room.
we don't have locked doors in this castle.
Oro knocks. He waits. So on one side of the hallway, Lumilia, Mordecai, and Oro are waiting outside of Oswandria's door. Inside of the room, Anderson, Kenneth, and Oswandria are inside. Oswandria pauses for a second and looks towards the door. She's going to say, "Unless you're one of my friends, my real friends, go away."
I'm here,
Oh, you can come in, Lumilia.
but I'm not alone.
At which point, Oswandria will open the door. God, how does she feel about Oro? She's going to look at him and say, "Look, I'm not mad at you, but I am mad at you." Oro is just going to exhale and say, "Hurts when you find out, doesn't it?"
Honestly,
Go ahead.
I think you should at least talk with your dad. He wasn't involved in the whole mess. In fact, he's pretty innocent in all this, and maybe you need someone else to talk to.
I'm gonna try to signal the party to leave.
As if I
Come
was
on,
gonna.
let's go.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna leave. You two should take some time and talk.
Oro, as you guys step out of the room, Oro is going to open his mouth to speak, and Oswandria is going to interrupt him and say, "Sorry, I'm not allowed to talk." And she closes the door on Oro, Lumilia,
Wow.
Claw, Anderson, and Kenneth.
Wow.
Well, she's a teenager.
Hmm.
I've seen her do that before.
Oro is going to turn his whole face into a scowl, bring up his hands into the air, and just go, "Hitting stuff is so much easier, Lumilia."
Yeah, I know. That's why I have a mace. But unless you want to hit your daughter, do it some way else. Also, if you want to hit your daughter, you get to meet the mace.
He's going to knock one more time fervently on the door. Oswandria again responds, "Go away!"
I'm gonna tell Oro, why don't you see if you can just talk to her through the door? We can all leave. Make sure no one comes by this area.
Or-
she'll at least be forced to hear you.
Oro's gonna nod. He'll look to the guard and say, "I'll guard her for a little while. You guys go take some time off." The two guards are going to nod and say, "Yes, sir." Oro leans against the door, slumps down to the floor.
Before
says,
he does that, Claw is going to tell Oro, and think of this as a sparring. You both want to end off better. Quietly, in a way that Astu wouldn't hear it, but to kind of, give him a bit of confidence in terms of what his mindset should be.
Oro's gonna nod and say, "No, I was wrong about you guys. You're not a terrible influence on her."
We know.
He's going to speak up and say, "He's wrong about a lot of things," as he talks back through the door. All right. What's the party want to do?
I have nothing.
Stradora wants to be left alone for a while. So...
I want to go find somewhere else and start talking about the next trial. Go find Mon.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'll
go
find
take a
them.
nap, see if I have another dream.
Oh yeah, what was your dream?
Oh, right, my dream.
We can all wander off and talk about dreams.
Yeah. As
Oh,
you guys
that's right,
go looking
because I
for
wasn't here
Mon,
last
you
session.
can
I
have
didn't
a
actually tell you
chance to
about my
talk to
dream.
each other.
Yeah.
Let me find the note where you told me about my dream.
Do you want me to resend it to you?
If you could, that would be easier.
All right. Let me pull up our message history. Jackal Laroni and... Here we go. And I'm just copying and pasting, so it's going to say tonight, but it was last night.
Alright.
Yeah, so you guys are walking down a hallway, headed to look for the last place you saw Mon.
Okay, I guess while we're walking, I'll talk about the dream I had. It's like, this one disturbed me more than the others. I saw the creation of the Shattered. I watched Calfee take the essence of these people, like I don't know how to describe it. Their souls, their very being, what makes them who they are. I watched him break them and then reform them, creating the Shattered. He said it was to protect them from a much greater evil, and that they would be used they would be protected from this evil that he also created. He had their best interests at heart, but still, to manipulate people's souls like that. I don't know if it was the right thing. That's kind of it if you want to comment.
If nobody wants to say anything, I'll give you guys a few more seconds and I'll move you along. You know what? I'll do the same thing I did before. Kenneth, you're allowed a free history check.
Yay.
I was like, really? Nothing? No one?
Just shock. Doing good today.
Kenneth, what Anderson just described sounded very eerily similar to what Reyna and Ariana described.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, is that the same? I'm glad this intelligent troll proved me right. All right. So as we're walking, I guess I'll say that. Oh. Aussie almost did that.
I mean, if she really does have his soul with her, it makes sense that she would inherit that power.
To her mom and Reyna and a bunch of other people that are no longer with us anymore.
You know what's more scary? The fact that, I mean, he was doing it to protect these people, but Kalfir, he was afraid of this thing. He wasn't sure he could stop it.
He's messing with powers he didn't fully understand.
I mean, something like that.
Inspiration.
But the Shatterer was afraid of this being, and was taking precautions against it. But I don't know what's scarier, the fact that
What scares a Shatterer? Yeah.
what scares a Shatterer, that there's something bigger than Kalfir. And it's still out there.
Should probably find Mon fast. Maybe, hopefully, the sooner Aussie gets control of this. I don't know. Maybe we can prevent her from ending up being like Kalfir.
All right.
Yeah.
As you guys go looking for Mon, let me see if God, I just rolled the dice and I didn't set parameters. Okay. The higher the die,
God.
the closer they are to finishing. Oh. Alright, so you guys are going to walk back into this room. Who's still here? Like, I guess Ariana would have like one night left with her Mon, and then Dila would be here, and I guess these like other people you guys don't wholly recognize before finally rather I guess you guys step back in, and as Dila is lecturing, Ariana's going to hold up her hand and say, I'm sorry, Headmistress Winrona. It's not that I don't appreciate this briefing. I just fear that your information's not sinking in. Could you perhaps stay the evening and we can try again in the morning? Dila is going to nod and say, I can make certain arrangements, but do understand that in this matter, time is of the utmost concern. A lot of the knowledge that we might need to solve something like this has been long lost or forgotten.
Or it's with Uranala.
Do you say that out loud?
Quietly, but yes.
Well, then I guess I'll roll them perception checks of what are they listening at. Alright, roll me a stealth check just to see how quietly you say that. I just need to know where to judge it at.
Stealth. I'm very sarcastic in myself.
Well, one person rolled a 7 before bonuses, so now I actually need to go look at that. Okay. Alright. So, you are going to say that out loud, at which point Dila is going to turn around and look at you and say, that demon that's been encased in crystal for the last 2,000 years?
You mean the one living on the other side of the nation?
She's going to nod and say, yes, curious that the Lostfire conflict actually shook her from her bindings.
Yes, that's the one.
And Dila's going to look at Ariana and says, and she has information on the Forgotten Song. Ariana is going to shrug and say, one of my advisors used to live in the region she now inhabits. She was a Dorai of considerable age. She left a wealth of knowledge stashed deep underground. I've bargained for Irala for a couple of those tomes, but she seldom lets go of even one. Dila.
She's very, very greedy.
Mm-hmm. Dila is going to rub at her chin and say, well, I think I have a place to start. I know where to send my team of Arcanists next.
Wish them luck.
Ariana is going to chuckle and say, yeah, if you want any item from her collection, you'll have to give away part of the country. Dila's going to nod and say, well, you can find when dealing with entities from the bridge, they are quite unpleasant. Anyone who has experience with them, it's in their best interest to be cooperative. At that, I think our business is concluded. I'll find quarters in where you house your emissaries. Ariana's going to nod. She looks back at the party and says, have you all come to scold me for my decisions? Because the worst part is that I'd do it again, so you might want to save your words.
Lamilia might, but no, not really.
I've given up on giving you advice.
Lord Oswin's talking with Lysandria now, having a heart-to-heart. I actually came to find Mr. Mon over here.
Mon is going to look at you and smiles a big, toothy grin. Oh, I don't have a portrait for him. What? Whack.
Yeah, I don't think you ever did.
I'll make one next session. Mon is going to smile and say, but I am a simple scholar of Ilona Guy. What is it you seek of me?
Let's walk and talk. You're someone who we've been told has some knowledge.
He's going to nod and say, Headmistress, Your Majesty. He bows. And he's going to excuse himself.
Your Grace, Headmistress, and walk out.
I'm assuming the party leaves with Kenneth?
Yep.
Sure.
Alright. You guys are walking and talking with Mon. He is dressed in wraps of blue cloth. Could unravel to the point of Illuminagian fashion, but for the most part, he is bundled up for the nice, cool Ardorian springs.
I guess as we're walking, I tell him, you laid it on a little thick there, the whole, oh, I'm just a humble scholar. That's, I don't know. Maybe a little more humble?
He's going to nod and say, mine is the way to nudge people towards where they need to be, not to lead them.
In that case, would you be able to nudge us in the next direction of the trials, or will we just have to wait and see?
He is going to say, curious, that is, because I've just had an opportunity for a trial of power arise.
It is curious.
Tell me, do you consider yourselves Deeth? Hunters, seekers, and perhaps solvers?
Only
I'm
on
gonna look to the
Tuesdays.
others.
Say that one more time, Willow.
Only on Tuesdays.
Only on Tuesdays. Is it second day in World? Oh, well, second day's coming up. And he's,
Eighth day.
Yeah, it's 8th day. And he's, gonna say, well, second day is soon. I've had a curious problem arise. Somebody has sought me for something that I fear I do not have the time to provide. Perhaps you can handle the matter for me?
Depending on what it is.
It's nice to know what we're getting into.
It is but a simple quest. It's
So you say that.
It's a test of power. A soul has escaped the justice of their actions. You only need to find this individual and deliver that justice.
Does their name happen to be Donaganya?
He's going to chuckle and say, no, it does not.
Unfortunate.
He's going to say, there's one here who has, there's one in this country, actually, who came to me with this request. I can lead you to them, and perhaps you can aid them.
All right.
Sure, why not?
All right. You guys follow Esches out of the Magnate's Keep into the Central Rise. In the Central Rise, you're going to see a group of people waiting. They also look like Ililnagians, like maybe a whole entourage of them. A couple moments later, like I guess like Dilo would like walk over here and some of them would like leave with her. From this group, Esches is going to point to one and say, Sergej, step forward. Gurik, are you there?
Yes, I am. I've been here the whole time.
Go ahead and give us a description of your character.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Standing at about 6 feet tall, slender, black hair, and just normal investigative clothes. I step forward.
Alright. He's going to say, this one teleported here with an Arcanist from Ililnagai, and just happened to stumble upon me after you confronted me in the Chantry. After he found out who I was, he sought my power.
That's correct.
Esches is going to put his hands together, and let me write a pronunciation guide for me forever, so that I have this. How do I pronounce your name? Sergej?
Sergey.
Sergey. So
Yeah,
Sir, and then the word gay.
basically, it's
Sergey. Okay,
that's
I got this.
it's the additional letters that will throw people off. Instead of an I, it's a
J.
yeah, J.
All right,
Well,
Sergey.
welcome to the chaotic gay party.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, his name's
gets it.
perfect.
Yeah. All right. He's going to say, Sergey, I've decided to fulfill your requests. You have asked for justice, and I am going to provide you with individuals who can deliver that justice.
I take a look at the party. I just like have a
Whole
look
bunch of teenagers.
Yeah. Do you guys want to
That's 22,
describe
thank you
your
very much.
characters to Gririk?
Not all.
Yeah. Lumilly,
From what
how
I'm
about
told,
this?
it's
Well,
basically kids.
yeah. Well, give me a 2-sentence description about each of your characters as I call on you. Lumilia, go ahead and give 2 sentences of description about Lumilia.
I am an 18-year-old dragonborn with golden scales and a fancy dress and a mace.
All right. Kenneth, go ahead and give 2 descriptions about Kenneth.
I'm a 22-year-old human, in decently fine clothes and leather armor.
All right. Anderson, Jack will go ahead and give 2 sentences about Anderson.
I am an 18-year-old happy-go-lucky kid who just wants the best for his friends.
All right. And finally, Claw.
Claw is current is you can't tell what he is because he basically looks like an invisible man completely wrapped up in a lot of cloth and leather armor, but he stands at 5'10", and that's all you're going to really get from it, the fact that he looks like an invisible man, and you might occasionally see a colorful snake poking out from his hood.
I am just going to be like, I'll have that look of like, this is what I'm getting.
Beggars
Well,
can't
Try not to look so excited.
We're also, I would say, we're also missing a girl about yay high in heavy armor with a big ass sword
And a bigger attitude.
and a bigger attitude. Sassy young pal.
I'm just, well, nice to meet y'all of ya.
Oh,
She is actually the
is it
strongest member out of all of us.
I try to put on a brave face while saying this. Clearly that fails.
Estes is going to speak up and say, sometimes you send a prayer sometimes you send a prayer, and rather than a miracle, you just find the dagger that you need. I'm confident that these individuals can get the job done.
Oh, I'll get Sergey and say, you made a deal with him.
What did you expect?
Just like, I'm just going to kind of do like a half-hearted chuckle at that.
At which point, he is going to turn to start catching up with the rest of his entourage that he came with. Before he stops and says, I've got one last thing for you. You see, Alona is very peculiar about the paperwork. All things must be done in proper order. One cannot deliver justice and kill an individual without paying life debt for such an action. He produces a light blue, a dyed light blue piece of parchment. On it, you guys see extensive writing, and each of your names appears at the bottom of this.
Oh no! Oh wait. Weird question.
He's in the order of scribes, isn't he?
What's up, E?
Weird question. Which name is written there for me?
Ooh, let's roll a percentage die. Yeah, as it is forming, Claw sees the next name start to write itself on there. You have the option to snatch it from his hand. It looks like your real name about to be written on it.
I'm going
I don't want to make a scene, but Claw is just going to mutter on his breath, don't know shit.
I'm going to roll to see if I hear that.
Alright, I'll roll a stealth check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
roll,
but now
roll me a
you'll-
stealth check. Once the paper finishes scribing itself, So this is your first roll.
Yep.
Do you know how to roll, or would you like me to walk you through
Yes,
it?
I know how to roll.
Okay, go ahead and
I
roll
just
me that
need-
perception check. Alright, yeah, you do not hear that.
Yep.
Alright.
that
So
second
as
one.
this paper finishes scribing itself, Esches is going to roll it up and proffer it forward. Upon offering it, he's going to say, "This is a provisional blue contract. While such a contract in Ililnagai could allow you to take a life while on the job, this one is interesting in fashion. It will pardon you only of one life. Choose wisely."
I shall. I put it away.
All right. You can add a blue contract to your inventory.
I have.
Or when you type it, put provisional blue contract.
Yep.
All right. At that, Esches is going to say, "Do inform the princess and take her with you. I believe your hunt is somewhere outside the wall, somewhere around the city of Dockensdale. Farewell."
Yes.
And
Same with you.
he turns and starts walking with his group. Congratulations! You guys have a new member.
Yay.
Oh,
You- If you seem older than us, I'm making you the babysitter now. I'm free.
yeah, that's why I said what I said.
Welcome to the club.
I'm free.
You've presented Kenneth with an adult. Kenneth is a free elf.
That's why I have to, this is why I'm entering.
Just imagine you just, starting to skip off into the distance.
I'm gonna move your sheet around for a quick second, Sergey, and then I'll put you back on right where you were at. Just
Alright.
Needed to get one stat off of your sheet. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, and I put you back there. All right. So, what do you guys want to do? I can fast forward you a couple hours, or you can stay and talk. Oh, well, yeah, you can talk to your new member.
Yeah, let's talk, because also Andrea and Oro need a bit more time.
Well, Sergey, your request is also partially one of the trials that the Princess of Ardor has to go through for Ashes's help. So we're killing two birds with one stone here. Stone here. So we need her with us when we go through this hunt, which is why he said to get her.
So, who exactly are you hunting down anyway?
I shall tell you, and better. I look around. Is there anyone of shifty, like a shifty nature?
Yeah,
Yeah, he just walked away. We call him Mon.
Yeah, you guys are, I'll say you're on the side of the central rise. You're in a huge chamber, almost theater-like. And it is decently populated, but there's so many people talking in here that the amount of people almost provides a level of stealth upon it on its own. Immediately paying attention to you, you don't notice anyone shifty.
Okay. Currently looking for a person who escaped our captive. Wanted for murder of 16 people. Name is Tethal or Thal.
Talia.
Talia. Thank you for that pronunciation correction. Looking for a Thalia. That would be of great interest to bring her back so she can stay on trial.
Still alive. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I just realized there will be a lot of mispronunciation for me.
It's fine, especially when you get to Lil Nagai. I don't expect you to know like all of these names, remember all of them. If you ever forget something your character should know, you can simply ask me, and I will try and give you the information the best I can. If appropriate, I'll make you roll a history check for it.
Gotcha. That's what a few sports injuries do to you in real life. Alright, so I'm going to be like, so why don't you tell me a little bit more about yourself? Like, what brought you all to here? Are you chuckling in character?
Yes.
I give a slight look of like, oh, this shall be interesting.
We met about a week ago.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago? Wow.
Oh, it was about a week.
Yeah, okay.
I now am just slight, like that interest becomes like, oh God, help me.
It was a wonderful birthday party here for the princess's 16th birthday, in which someone tried to murder her. They instead murdered her body double, and then that person got their head cut off.
Oh.
And we forged an unbreakable bond of friendship.
And helped the princess get her father back after his memory was wiped, after he got his arms cut off and his eyes gouged out.
Only one arm was cut off.
Only one? Okay.
And only one eye.
I just have the look of pure shock and like, what did I just join up with?
You join with a bunch, I was looking in the eye like, you join with a bunch of very sane people.
We've done a lot. We fought a bunch of skeletons, we discovered a conspiracy, we helped defend the castle when it was under siege.
Right.
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
Clearly.
I'm engaged to the princess.
Oh yeah, that.
Don't congratulate her.
Please don't congratulate me.
Alright, as you guys are down here talking, Alexander is going to come down from the stairwell. He notices you guys, and at some point, I guess some of you would notice him as he starts approaching. He's going to walk up to the party, look at Sergey, and say, "Let's see, you guys are all making friends. I just informed Stradora, but I wanted all of you to hear it from my mouths for reasons I'm fairly sure most of you know. It's going to be a few days, maybe weeks, until I'm back with you. And keep the princess safe, okay?"
We will. Hey, you take care of yourself, right?
And he's gonna nod and say, "And somebody go crack a joke to Stradora. She's in her room brooding."
I mean, she's brooding a lot of the time.
Oh! I know some great jokes. I'll go cheer up our friend Stora.
I'm gonna grab him by the back of his shirt. No.
Oh my god!
I just want to whisper, thank you.
You know what? For that, Lumilia, roll me a grapple check. Anderson isn't actively avoiding you. The reason why you need to roll a grapple check is if you can reduce his speed to 0.
Remind me how to grapple check.
Just roll me an athletics check.
Athletics.
It is not contested.
Oh no!
Oh boy!
No, I would say like she would just have to she'd just have to be somewhat decent at just stopping Anderson from going forward. So you grab Anderson's collar, and you are now being pulled along.
I'm going to notice this and try to tackle Anderson.
No.
What?
Can I
Why?
use my other hand and grab whoever's closest to me?
Claw.
that
It's
one,
instantly
Claw,
Claw.
help.
It's always gonna be Claw.
No, Anderson can choose to stop of his own volition. I was just like, I just don't feel like Lumilia would be able to like stop
No,
Anderson.
well,
It's just
like I will feel the pressure on my neck.
Yeah.
Did not
That-
want to press that.
That's not the right thing.
Nope, that was a misclick.
I'm a cleric. Why would I be strong?
Yeah.
You can be a war player.
But Anderson is able to stop himself, so.
But I'm not.
Right. Well,
I'm not going to try to stop. I'm just going to simply look at the group and like,
he said he's the happy-go-lucky guy.
I know.
With the disturbing dreams that we only
I'm-
talk about.
We're gonna slowly, as we work together, we're gonna slowly fill you in because I think this is gonna take a while.
True, hearing our whole story all at once might be traumatizing.
Yeah.
Very, very.
I'm
Just
just
like
simply
everything we've told him already.
I'm just like, oh.
Well,
But hey, we'll kill whoever you need us to kill.
I honestly have no idea how they're so bloodied, but welcome to Ardor.
Don't make me have to do additional paperwork.
Oh, you'll absolutely have to do additional paperwork.
Yeah, it's too late.
I just simply put my hand over my face and I'm like, oh god.
You can pray to
Oh,
the
God.
gods, but they won't.
If God damn.
God, it's so nihilistic.
Well, she did for.
I mean, like, I'll feel the pressure on my
Yeah.
neck and I'll stop. Just going like,
Yeah.
what?
I was like, the answer to that is a whole nother story.
I mean, I say that, but Gale Song saved me already.
He did answer you.
Okay. If Alexander's still here, I'll tell him. Continue wishing him luck, and if he's not, I don't know. I guess we better go find Stradora.
Yep.
We shall.
Party away!
And if Alexander is here, and tell your mother I said hi. It's been a while since I've gotten a chance to talk to her as well, so.
Alexander did walk away, but I'll say, like, he was there for a couple moments, and, like, as he was walking away, you would hear that and nod. Alright, the party goes to find Le Stradora. I'm just trying to find a good moment to time skip you guys all forward. You guys, it's not terrible, it's not terribly difficult to find Stradora. You find her in her room, knocking on the door. I'm assuming you guys knock on the door. Stradora, there is a knock on the door. You probably hear like the huddled sound of voices
We
outside.
should all knock.
Yeah.
Everyone get a hand on the door and knock all at once.
I'm sorry,
not gonna
Stradora,
do
there's
that.
a lot of knocking on the door.
I will use 2 hands for you.
I will not do that
there a window
because
in my
I will
room?
not. I will not have the small
How high
child
up
that
are
can
we?
bench press me.
How high up are you? Ooh, the diplomat's quarters are probably like on the 3rd floor.
I can survive that fall.
Yeah, but is Stradora important enough to get a window room? I'd say over 65% Stradora has a window room. 20%. Stradora did not get a window room. Like, a lot of people visit the castles. Like, these quarters are basically dorms.
I'm trapped between all the knocking and my own loneliness.
You have to face us, Stradora.
Open
Hey,
the door.
no.
We have a
Not
new
like that.
friend.
What do you guys want?
To
We're
embark
here to
on
make
the
your day
Battle
better.
Tower.
Stradora, do you want to beat some people up?
Always.
Well,
Outside of Ardor.
we have a temporary blue contract to help a new friend. I think you wouldn't understand that. Seems like it's from your
You guys are gonna have to start really explaining a lot of things.
By the way,
We got the next
know what a
trial.
blue contract is?
A blue contract is a
I'm
literal
Arthurian.
license to kill.
Oh, cool.
My dad has one.
Well, this one only works for one individual.
And
One
only
life.
one.
One life. One life.
And only
Whoever
one.
kept that fucking blue
Oh, that's coming out of all your pockets.
We earned those fair and square, Ramon. Fair and square. Oh, okay. Wheel it back. We have a provisional blue contract. So, whatever it is you guys got roped into doing, we're killing a person.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
more
no,
like
we're not. No, we're
he-
not.
he wants to catch them alive. This blue contract is sort of insurance. This is Eshes giving us the next trial by handing us his work because he's lazy, and so we're killing two birds with one stone. Well, he's killing two birds with one stone.
Where in Alilnagai are we going?
And wear this down.
Docking shore.
Dockensdale.
Dockensdale, yeah.
Dockensdale.
Oh, go to Doggensdale.
Tough.
Been to Doggensdale? Seedy, it's crime-ridden.
It's perfect.
Could be a lot worse.
Oh wait, Lyra isn't the Supreme Light there anymore, so that's fine. Who even is the Supreme Light in that area anymore, in the Dawn Touch?
Strador would know. His name is a guy, I believe, named Lancaster? Land.
Oh hey, it's still Land, that's good.
Yeah, I forgot his last name. But yeah, it would... You know what? I would honestly need to make a last name for him, because the Supreme Lights go by their family name. Let's see. Let's give him a last name right now, because I can't find my NPC card for him. But yeah, Lan... I like Lancaster. I'm pretty sure it was something like Lancester or something like that. But we're gonna go with Lancaster. And I'll write it down now.
Are you possibly thinking it's Lancaster because I played someone named Lancaster in the one-shot a while back?
Could have
Happy
been.
Adventure. That was my last name.
You know what? I'll go. I just remember.
I don't mind if you do that.
I remember it was a alliteration, and there was a C in the second name. But I'm just gonna go with. If you're cool with Lancaster, I'm going with Lancaster. Or actually, I'm gonna go with Lancester because Lancaster because that's easier for me to pronounce and remember. Supreme Light Lancaster. Stradora is aware of that knowledge, and Sergei is aware of that knowledge. Anybody else would have to roll.
I'm just gonna assume I don't know.
I'm not gonna bother. I don't care about that country.
Yeah, we're all Ardorian. We don't know.
Look, okay, we have a provisional blue contract, which apparently excuses us from the life debt for one death. You do not just get this because we're gonna take them in. No. Whatever we're gonna go do, that person is most likely going to die.
Like,
I'm
what
pretty
we're doing, they're
sure that the guy here who is trying to arrest this lady would probably know.
Well, how about you start talking their new guy?
So I guess she's very sassy.
Sorry,
I-
Leonard.
Yeah.
If we didn't introduce her, she is Stradora Drake Callendir.
You roll a history check on that name. You've heard it before.
Oh, do I have to roll a history check or?
If
I
you
mean,
want
you
to.
can
Otherwise, it's just familiar to you.
Well, I'll roll a history check.
Let me think for a second. Actually, I'm going to roll a percentage die of how... Okay, so yeah, you remember the name before. Like, Stradora Drake Callendir. You remember Roman Drake was the first prince of the Ilderon? The ruler of the country, the Sky Queen, is not allowed to have a family. And in the entire history of Ilderon, there's never been a royal family. The last Sky Queen actually had a family. Stradora was a name you heard a couple times, perhaps related to the prince.
All right.
The pleasure is all yours. Anyways, get to talking.
I'm just like, oh boy. Oh. God help me. Not used to-
Would you, I guess, would you like me to give you some information that you could give to the party?
Yes, please.
Okay. So Sergey was investigating a. Do you want me to just read you what I sent you? Like, would Sergey share that level of knowledge?
Probably give, like, say, some of the basics.
Okay.
Not, like, all the nitty-gritty.
Okay, so I'll give it to you, and then you can translate it to the party however you want.
Yep.
Sergey
Oh, was this like you sent me earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sergey was investigating a criminal known as oh wait, I sent you the wrong name. It's that's why you mispronounced it. Because halfway through preparing this, I was like, that's going to be hard to pronounce. Let me change her name to something easier. All right, so you were investigating a criminal known as Talia, and the Dockensdale Guard Force was able to pin 4 murders to her that she had committed. They were going to execute her, and she paid off the life debt and requested a trial, which is the right of any Ililnagian citizen. Of the light who was going to convene over her trial has been known to be overly merciful, and the guard force did not think that she was going to get convicted and executed for her crimes. That said, they hired Sergey to find more evidence, as there were some shaky things about this that needed to be shored up to ensure that the that the light who was adjudicating over this trial would convict her. As Sergey was working the case, the time came up for her trial, and it wasn't finished. Sergey wasn't finished collecting the evidence, and the night that her trial, or rather the next day before her trial, that night there was a accident in the prison, and a lot of creatures that the guard force was like holding and had captured from like smugglers and stuff, and were like getting rid of, broke out of their cages, and a big catastrophe happened. 16 people died, and Talia's cell was unlocked, and she was missing. The guard force charged the additional 16 murders, or added the 16 murders to her charges, and you were informed of that, bringing the count of murders that she's responsible for to 20. She is currently in the winds, and you were trying to find some string in order to pull this case back together. Through those other means that I messaged you is how you got to Ardor Sarai. But that's the case. Of that, what you want to share with the party is up to Sergey.
I'll tell him about. I'm looking for Talia. It's important for her case. She was being tried for 4 murders. Eve of her execution, of her trial, an accident happened at the holding area. Dangerous creatures from smugglers were released. She escaped because some idiot left the keys too close to her cell. He and 15 others unfortunately perished. And, well, she was never heard of again.
Okay, so how did she get away with... How did she get... So she's gonna go on trial. Like, she committed 4 murders. Like... That's what, 4K gold in life debts?
Yes, that would be correct.
I know enough about the Olnegian legal system to know that like you have to pay those life debts before you have any hope of getting like a
Yeah, you're
like
a Lunagian.
yeah. So
The
basically,
Sun
is that
pays them for you. Like, you've probably... Oh, I don't know if Stradora's ever killed somebody, but, like, Stradora
To
would
our
probably
knowledge.
hear, of other order captains who the Sun, has paid off, like, their life debt, and then, Lights have evaluated them.
but the point is you have to pay the debt before you can even.
Yeah, before you can
Why
even request a trial or anything
She
like that.
Okay.
paid the debt, requested the trial.
Okay, so questions: where does somebody get 4,000 gold to pay off 4 life debts?
We don't ask that question.
That's what do you mean you don't ask this question? It's your goddamn job.
Look, it was not my part in the investigation to ask.
Okay, so a random murderer gets to have a trial where she can pay 4k gold to clear her debt, and then escapes in a barnyard incident. Like, if there's like papers I can throw at him, I'm throwing them at him. Not like the papers I was writing on. Like, if he has like here's all my like notes about this. It's just like, look, okay, I'm just gonna tell. It's like, let me make your job real easy right now. You need to get this lady, but this lady has an accomplice. 4k gold, and then her key's too close to the cell. Maybe you should go be a butcher, because you're definitely no good at investigating. Lord!
My original case.
So anyway, this is Tadora. She's always like this.
I seem like a joy now, don't I?
Yes, you do.
She's great.
I'm just going to simply take the verbal assault.
I'm not even being sarcastic. She's great, isn't she?
I'm just going to give you the luck.
Why are you even in order?
Need help, okay?
For
Ashes.
the record, she's
I'm
gonna
gonna
save
assume
your
it's
life
Ashes.
by the end of the week.
Multiple times.
Yes.
She is, with Alexander gone, pretty much one of our strongest.
But no. Why are you in order? Like, you need help, but what about order inspires you to need assistance?
Teleport through. I'm going to lie and say, you know that 4,000 you're asking about?
Yeah.
I was investigating that.
And
I'm going to try and lie about that.
oh, you're lying about that.
Go ahead and roll me a
Yeah.
deception check.
I have.
So, as I will let this go through, but before I do, I will let you know, as a player and a character joining a group and trying to, get them to trust and help you out, starting off with untruths likely isn't going to be the best course of action.
I have a question though. Aren't you a rogue? Why is your deception 0?
He's not a rogue.
I'm a fighter.
That said, though,
He has the investigator background.
yeah, Stradora, you are going to definitely pick up that Sergei doesn't want to answer that question.
I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna hold my arms out. I'm gonna like, come here, buddy.
I just give a sulking look.
Come on.
I'm going to walk closer to him.
Smack!
First of
Roll me
all,
an attack roll, Rob.
This is like 5-star. Oh god! I basically just ragdoll across the room.
No. It's just like it's like that. You ever watch Jackie Chan Adventures? It's just like the uncle wrap knuckles on your like forehead. Like I backhanded you. I didn't like.
Like,
By the way, you take 4 damage.
Elf.
yep, you do take 4 damage, and
I'm ecstatic to find out that I have replaced Alexander with somebody equally as incompetent. If you have a shattered mother, that would be all the better to make sure the void's been filled. Do not lie to me. It is not going to help us help you.
I understand.
So this is our leader.
Barely. I'm just going to as I looked. I'm just going to rub my cheek where she slapped and say clearly.
Fear
Now-
her name.
Why are you in order?
Like I said, we are investigating her disappearance. We had leads that she would be here. I'm currently following up on those leads.
Okay, but what are those leads?
That is for
You're about to need to know me.
Gririk,
Yeah.
do you remember the messages I sent you? Because
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, if you need a refresh on that information, I can let you know.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the Maya thieves was in the town. And a few anarchists. Finding those people.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Arcanists.
Arcanists.
They're like the mages of Ilonagai, except they went to college and have degrees. An Arcanist is like a state-certified mage, like a driver's license for a wizard.
So,
you saying-
just to catch that again, he thinks that the bankroll might have been like what at the Convocation of Minds, or is he just trying to get a hold of Arcanist because of that? I might have missed a sentence in there.
Yeah, well, this was also one I was trying to deceive you and failing.
So,
So
like-
the party is asking what brought your character here.
Yeah, I'd be like, look,
Go ahead.
I'm looking for an Arcanist. He might know what happened that night. We are also looking for there are rumors of a Medias or Midas.
Meandeth.
Meandeth in town seeing someone.
Okay.
Just to update you, Matt.
Yep.
Your character already met the Meandeth. That was Eshes. Eshes, the person who you were just talking to, who said, like, you were looking for me, and this is the answer to your prayer. This group, that was Eshes.
Okay.
You already found the Meandeth.
Okay.
and then what they are like with, and then what about the Arcanist stuff?
He did not have time to meet with me. I'm trying to find him.
Arcanist have a name?
No.
I'll give him one. Let's see. The scholar that you met with was a man by the name of Domarai.
Domarai. Okay. Name is Domarai.
And let me record that. He is he's a somewhat prominent Arcanist inside of Dockensdale. Ooh, you know what? I'll roll him a percentage die. Above 55%, he's an Arch-Arcanist. He's an Arch-Arcanist. So basically, he has a PhD in magic. He's real smart about stuff.
So time out. So you've already met with this Domarai, or Domarai is who you're
Domarai
you're looking for Domarai?
Yeah, because I did not have time to meet with him.
And you think he's here, what, for that Convocation of Minds?
Yes. Plus,
So allow me 1 second,
Yep.
Matthew, because we came up with this story earlier today. I just want to make sure all of the details properly got absorbed. So,
because I'm thinking what's happening.
Yeah, so for the job that Sergey was hired for, some things about this case did not add up. Magical interrogation was used. and magical interrogation proved she was guilty. Another report by a arcanist also says that magical interrogation proved she was innocent. You don't understand the magical matters from the report and how they can conflict with each other. That said, your character went to find an arcanist in a Lilnagai to meet with and discuss the differences of the reports. From there, the arcanist didn't have time to meet with you because they had to be at the Convocation of Minds. You asked the arcanist, your character asked the arcanist if they could come with them and teleported to Ardor, hoping that you could find somebody else at the Convocation of Minds who would have the time to help you out. While there, you saw somebody confront Eshius and reveal that he was one of the Meandeth, and you asked for his help, which leads us to where we're at right now.
Oh, okay. So you've already actually met with this. So you need, basically, you're looking for somebody that can tell you, like, why the discrepancy might exist.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So we're going to rewind, because I feel like a portion of this conversation occurred mostly because the information wasn't all settled. But now we have all the information settled. Do you have documentation talking about the manner of magical interrogation used?
I hand him over I would assume I would have the report.
Yeah, I'd say you'd have both of them.
Yep, I hand over both reports.
I'm going to peruse them.
I'll just simply say, look, magic interrogations aren't my thing.
Underneath the zone of truth, you're not actually allowed to lie. You physically can't. Now, mind you, you physically can't speak any mistruths. I'm like saying this as I'm like reading.
Yeah.
So if I were to cast it,
I would say to quick read this for Stradora. You can roll me an Arcana check or a flat intelligence check.
I mean, the same.
Yeah. Otherwise, I feel like Stradora is going to be in the. Oof.
Boom.
Okay.
Boom.
Stradora.
That's the pedigree, baby.
You are even with that 20 Arcana check. You are in the same boat as Sergei. One report is the person who led the interrogation of the criminal could not bring herself to say she didn't commit the murders or that she was innocent under the zone of truth. All of the questioning from the zone of truth seems to lead up that she is guilty for the murders. After the interrogation happened, they hired a person who specialized in divination magic, using spells to locate the places, objects, and even legend lore. None of what the divinationists, the arcanists who specialize in divination magic, could confirm any of the details gleaned from the Zone of Truth. The Zone of Truth proves she's guilty. The divination proves she's innocent.
Okay, so they're actually two different.
Yeah.
Like, so
both
it's like
documents seem to confirm, or seem to be wholeheartedly correct. Like, it doesn't look like mistakes were made.
But the point is that it wasn't like Zone of Truth, like week 1, Zone of Truth week 2. It's like,
yeah,
basically trying to corroborate what was said in the Zone of Truth isn't being corroborated.
Yes.
And that's odd because nobody seemed to have screwed up. Well, I might have some ideas, but I have an apology to make. Hands them the papers, leaves the room.
I just simply look there. I'm like, okay then.
I'm getting my Arcanist!
So when we find her, are you going to want to ask her more questions? Because I can cast Zone of Truth. Just so you're aware.
Good to know, but rather I'm trying to get evidence of her committing such.
I can also cast blindness deafness. In case you want to ask your questions in other ways.
Fortunately, in a
Lumilia
combat,
terrifies.
Huh?
You both terrify me.
under any sort of duress would be considered inadmissible in court. We need this to be considered in a proper setting where we cannot have it challenged.
Have you ever tried to lie under a zone of truth? That's torture. Oh, the guy definitely doesn't give a shit. What about
I-
No,
duress?
technically, if I accidentally murder someone, I can bring them back to life.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Quick, somebody take back the diamond I gave her.
Bring it back to life.
It's like, no?
I mean, I can. I know Revivify. I have a diamond.
That's the question. If you kill someone and then bring them back, do you still have to owe them the life debt?
I mean,
Ask Roman Drake.
Alright, Stradora has left. I don't know where you're going, Rob, so
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
off
get
to
you-
Andrea's room.
Okay. Of the party, what do you guys want to do? Before I jump forward to Stradora.
Just simply go head back to my room. Like,
You hungry?
I'm good for now. You can go. I'll be
Where are
in my
you?
quarters.
Where are you staying at? Do we know where to find you?
I
Oh,
would assume.
yeah, actually, you currently wouldn't have quarters. Like, yeah. The Arcanist he is so good, or well versed at magic, he's been teleporting here and teleportation circle back to Dawkinsdale.
That's expensive.
teleporting?
Well, I mean, he's a magic man.
It's all being paid by the state.
Oh man, we're gonna learn a lot of things when we get to Dawkinsdale.
Clearly.
Well,
No one lets me cook.
Oh, you know what? If you were in Esches' entourage, though, they are staying here for the evening. I
Does
did
anything about our contract say we're working for Eshes?
No, not you.
Okay, that's the one for
yeah,
the...
Sergey. Like, yeah, I feel like they would give you, they'd probably pack, like, the lesser individuals of, I guess, like, the entourage into, like, one of the larger quarters. It'd just be, like, a bunk room with, like, probably 5 other people. Right here in the office and diplomat quarters of the castle. So, yeah, I will say you have quarters.
Alright, you'll find me in the officer and diplomatic quarters. Now,
For the record, unless they're weirdly laid out, you're in the diplomat quarters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Basically,
I would-
you're in, like, a dorm hall, so...
Right, like it's not your room or anything, but like I'm in the diplomat quarters. So.
Yeah, Stradora has a room here. The party is essentially staying here, most of them.
I've technically moved in, even though my house is that far away. So we do
Just
too much
like-
stuff at once.
Anderson wakes up, says hi to the servants, like, you know, this is supposed to be a temporary quarters? Master Rayleigh, are you gonna ever go home? God, get me breakfast. Feels great to be here. How's everything? It's like,
Just like, I don't know. Are we not going to be traveling to some other country in the next, like, 2 hours? Let me know.
Alright. So, Sergey goes back to his quarters. Give me a direction for the rest of the party. Lumilia, Claw, Kenneth, and Anderson. Then I'm jumping to Stradora.
Amelia just wants to randomly cook food. We're like, you know
I'm
what?
going to the kitchen and making a fancy dinner for Asu, Andrea, and the party.
Okay. And Kenneth?
Oh, shit, I have no idea.
Okay. Kenneth can meander about his room if he wants.
Might as well. Yeah, I was meander about. I
Okay.
got nothing to do. I'm
Anderson
not
and
following
Claw.
Fedora.
I guess Claw will help Lumilia.
Hey,
Alright.
chef.
It's
Last
my
time
beard.
alone,
And
things bad
finally,
happen.
Anderson.
I'm going to go to the training area and hit a thing
right.
for a bit.
Cool beans. Okay. Jumping over to Stradora. Stradora,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to walk up to a pretty interesting site of the hall that Asuandria's room is on is actually, for one of the few times, empty of servants and guards, and instead there is simply a Oro Asuan sitting on the floor, leaning against the door. On the other side of the hallway, you are going to see Maria. She has brought a chair, and she has a elaborate case, a scroll case on her lap. They both look up at you as you walk into the hallway. Oro has a very small smile on his face. It seems to be a somber moment. At which point, Oro's going to knock on the door and say, "One of your real friends are here."
What did I miss?
Maria is going to say, "Oh, you didn't hear? Reyna told me. Asuandria found out some of the magics that Reyna performed on her. She's leaving the castle."
Ah, it's escalated that far. Well, fine. That's fine. Anyways, I need to, I don't know if Oro moved.
Let's see. Oro will move aside, at which point the door is going to open into Asuandria's room. It only opens slightly, enough for Stradora to get inside. As you get inside, the room is... Well, I'll move you guys to sunset, why not? I'd say this upper room's probably painted with... No, it wouldn't be painted with orange light. Sunset's on the opposite side of the castle that she lives on. As I guess shadows are just kind of falling over this room. Asuandria herself is sitting in the room. She is on the floor on the other side of the door.
So who let me in? Like, did I just open the door? And
she let you in. She leaned forward, opened the door, and then leaned back, closes the door. And she actually wouldn't have her hat up. Asuandria looks up at you, void eyes and all. She is... Gosh. She's going to say, "What?"
I'm sorry about earlier.
She's gonna look to the side and say, "You were right."
I mean, I always am.
At which point she'll say, "I'm sorry for considering using my power."
She's like laying on the ground.
No, she's sitting against the door.
Oh. Well, then I guess I'll sit next to her. Let's just say we both screwed up and call it even.
Just gonna nod and say, "Doesn't change the fact that I'm leaving."
Well, where are you gonna go?
Alona guy.
No. It's a nice place.
They study
Anyway.
magic there.
They do. They do. I know Dilo and Rona.
She's gonna nod and say, I plan on talking to her. I'm smart enough to get an entrance into the university.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you
There
are.
I'll be able to study whatever I want.
Well, I don't know about divine magic, but, anything else.
She's gonna exhale and say, I've barely lived a life, and all of it I've lived for them. It's just, it hurts. And to
Being
think,
lied to.
and she nods and says, and to think what little of it I did have, they took away from me.
I can't fully empathize. My parents have only told me one big lie in their lives. But whereas we're on number 6 for you?
She's going to shrug and then put her head into her knee and say, I don't know anymore.
Gotta pat her on the shoulder. So, you wanna go to Dogginsdale?
She's going to perk up and say, wait, really?
Yeah. A bumbling investigator was sent to us by Mon. We're investigating a shady murder.
She's going to, her face is going to light up in a way it shouldn't about investigating murder.
Yeah, I'm fine with this because it's one of those I have such limited life experience that literally anything sounds exciting at this point.
From the other side of the door, Oro's going to call out and say, that sounds dangerous.
Of course it's dangerous, but she has me, she's fine.
That's why it is dangerous.
At which point, she's going to nod and say, I would want nothing more. And Dawkinsdale, I bet we could find an Arcanist who has the glyphs to get us, or rather, the circles to get us to the university.
It's really not... Actually, hold up. How long a trip is it to get to Maphis from Dawkinsdale?
By boat or by boat or by foot?
You know what? Let's go by boat. I'm a Drake Calendar. We can get a boat.
I won't calculate all of it, but
you can give me a ballpark figure.
Yeah, I'll tell you the distance in miles because I can do that super easy. Let's see. So it's 289 miles or 290 miles to Marbleport, and then the boat from Marbleport goes to Sky's Reach. In total, it is 445 miles. Boats travel, the fastest boats in the water travel at 15 miles per hour for 24 hours a day. So do that math, whatever you will. I have a travel calculator that
It's 300 miles. It's 360 miles, so it'd be 2 days.
Yeah, 445 miles. 445 miles. Yeah.
Well, so it's actually less than. It'd be about a day and a half.
Yeah.
If you actually can go full 24.
Well, yeah, the boat would stop in Marbleport, but yeah, probably about 2.5 days or 2 days.
Which is not bad.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, and actually, I would know that, wouldn't I? Because of the particular stop we have to make.
Yeah. Sailing is a huge part of Alonagean culture, especially in the Tide Gate.
Specifically the port.
Yeah, Marbleport. That's the capital of the Tide Gate.
It's where I live.
Yeah.
That's my point. It's literally where I live. Well,
Go family
Let's do it.
reunion.
I
Stradora
need to be
says.
broken up with Oswandria before we get there. Wait, Oswandria seems
So,
on board for breaking rules.
Suggesting it, instead of magical travel, we could take a boat.
What is her fascination with boats? Oslander is going to shrug and say, I've never been on a boat before. Wait, no, there's river boats. She has been on a river ferry.
Oh shit, am I going to be able to get on a boat?
Yeah, she's going to nod at that and say, alright, try it. I've never been on the seas.
Yeah, see, so from Dawkinsdale we can take a boat, and we can take a boat to Marbleport. Marbleport is where I'm from. Then you can meet my parents, and we can compare and contrast. And then we can go to Memphis. Leans in. My dad's way cooler than your dad.
At that point, Oslander is going to laugh. She'll stand up and open the door. Oro's going to lean forward, looking back. He'll turn and stand up. She steps out, and she's going to hug him and say, thank you for the nice things that you said, but I don't feel like this place is my home. I feel like it's a prison now. And maybe I will be back.
I guess I would have stood up and gotten next to or behind her. Mostly because the alternative being abandoned in her bedroom.
At which point, Oro is going to hug her back and say, I only wanted you to be able to live a life just like anyone else. Corwin's dead. What remains of her faction, they don't seem to be showing their face anymore, and we hunted all the rest of them in Ardor to extinction. Anybody tries anything against you, I will be there in a heartbeat. But just know I don't agree with all the things your mother's done and said. If this is what you want, I don't like it, but I guess I'll be waiting for letters.
I'm gonna side, do a big side hug, where you squish her shoulder into my
Mm-hmm.
and be like, it's okay. She's got me. I'll keep her safe.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right?
She's going to nod, just taking a moment to savor this before finally letting go of Oro. At that point, Oro's going to start walking away, and he's going to say, do you want me to call guards back, or I think you can do without them? Aswandra is going to shake her head and say, let them rest. As Oro starts to leave, Maria is going to stand up and say, when I heard from Reyna, I just wanted to make sure you were prepared. I never wanted to stop you. You go be the Princess of Adventure, and I'll be the Princess in the Castle from now on. She hands Reyna the scroll, or Aswandra the scroll case she's carrying. Says, I figured you'll need a map while you're out there. I bought this one off the quartermaster. At which point, Aswandra will give her a hug, and Maria's
I'm so proud.
gonna head off down the hallway behind Oro. She is going to look at Stradora and say, oh, we should tell the others about this quest from Esches, the Trial of Power.
That's how I found out about it. After, how do I want to put this? I really introduced that investigator to my personality.
She's gonna scratch her head and say, "Okay." It's a weird way to say you met.
I verbally chastised him and said he was bad at his job.
Ah.
Anywho, I don't know where they are. We can go fetch them. I mostly wanted to apologize, see how you were doing. You might want to put your hat back on.
Oh. Yeah, she looks around, looks to the bed, goes, picks up the hat, taps the hat. The hat disappears on her head, and her appearance changes.
But also, because I wanted to rack your brain, because you are the closest thing I have to an actual Arcanist.
Just laying on the compliments. Again, I feel like she's gonna light up of just like... But smart enough to see through flattery. I feel like she is.
What are you talking about flattery? I'm not telling you this just to like make you puff up your chest and feel like I think you're special. Because first of all, I do, but... but also, like, what am I gonna do? Bug Reyna? Why? I'll bug you instead.
And there's always chastising me some more.
No, so the thing is that, and I'll kind of do like a summary of like, you know, the description of the crime or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, so the big thing is that under, we can be like walking and talking as we go to like maybe gather up the other party members.
Okay.
So the big thing is that under the zone of truth, she's very clearly guilty, but all the divination for evidence purposes seems to contradict that. Now, as we've learned rather recently, my theory is that she thinks she committed these crimes.
My head hurts.
You know,
Both in character and in real life.
until Earl, before all of this, it's like, it was easy to understand. Now it's like, oh god.
I get it.
I'm not great with arcane magics and all that, and not to twist the knife a little more, but we
No, just
no, not to you, to Osandria. I
Thank
think
God.
we modified her memory.
She is going to nod, and say, "So wait, have we talked to the criminal?"
No, we have to go find the criminal. But I think there's an accomplice anyway, and that would further support my hypothesis.
She's going to nod, and think on this and say, "Well, that would definitely be one solution. Can tell on truths in a zone of truth if you don't know they're on truth."
Yeah, that was kind of my thought, right? That it's not like it permeates the, like... You know, it's not like it's seeking out the honest, like, the absolute truth. It's like your personal truth. You know, so if you change my mind... If you change my brain around to make me think, you know, like with your dad, right? There was definitely a time where under a zone of truth he would say he'd never been married to the magnate. We know that's not right, but he would have believed it.
She's going to say, "And where did we get this information from?"
The investigator. A little energy and bureaucracy is a fantastic thing.
They had reports?
Yep.
I would very much like to see these.
Yep, we can get a hold of those. I didn't want to take them because they're his, but we can just... He's in the diplomat quarters. I have something to give you in my room anyway.
Oh, more gifts. Alright. Let's fast forward.
I'll just simply be in the quarters, just
yeah,
over our desk.
Actually, I won't fast forward. So returning to the... Or how about Stradora gives the gift at dinner?
Okay.
Because that would let me put everybody together.
I'm fine with that.
let's fast forward to the evening. The party has been collected for dinner. I guess you guys would be wanting to discuss something private. And a lot of these offices, some of the offices, I guess, would be more specific, would have like large meeting spaces in them, so that like people who come to meet with like high counselors or something have like a little lounge that they can meet and talk in private in large groups. It definitely wouldn't be unreasonable to take one of these empty offices for like a private affair for the night. And Anna's office is empty, and she never used it in the first place because she also lived like at the castle on the other side. So yeah, I'll say you guys have been able to repurpose like one of these large meeting offices for a dinner table. Lumilia, did you have a list of what you prepared, or did you want me to roll something?
I do.
Okay. What is Lumilia serving for dinner for everyone?
Stir-fried wheat noodles with peas, diced mushrooms, and deer with honey rolls.
Okay.
Why?
Andrea likes honey.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, already at the start.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just looking at it. It's like, I've had some interesting
For somebody intent on ending her fake engagement, she sure does make her fiance's favorite food.
Yeah.
We sure.
All right. At this, should I make Lumilia roll a performance or a cooking check?
I barely know how to cook.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Point out that Claw would be helping her, and
Claw would stop me from doing anything that would kill people.
Yeah, roll.
Like I would be using my wisdom to try and make sure at least it's edible enough, because I feel like I've at least cooked.
Claw, give me advantage.
1 second, I'll be back.
So it's not going to be a performance. It's actually going to be with your cooking tools. You can use the same roll, but just add your modifier from your tool proficiency. So
I'm not proficient with cooking tools.
You are proficient with cooking tools.
Oh, wait, I am.
Yeah, so it's going to be that 10 that you rolled plus...
I rolled 7.
It's going to be plus 3, and then what skill are you using to cook with?
I would say I'm using my wisdom, because I don't have the intelligence of recipes.
Okay. So that's going to be a that's going to be a 15, which, all in all, that's not bad at all. That's really, really, really tasty. Didn't I give you some magical cooking tools? I give you fancy. Okay.
They're not magic.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah. All in all, this meal turned out pretty daggone good. The party is able to come together and meet over this meal. You guys have privacy.
Yay.
Okay, sorry if you hear some noise. Some jerk in the neighborhood's launching fireworks.
Okay. Sergey.
Compliment to the chef.
Yes.
This is going to be your first time meeting the princess of Artisarai. In front of you, sitting at the table, is Princess Asuandria Bertholf. She is in a white and black dress, and she's got stark black, or raven black hair and bright blue eyes. I feel like that's all the description needed.
She's also got a black steak knife strapped to her side.
Oh yeah, she does have an oath blade. I don't know if Sergey would even know what that is, though. So
would not.
Yeah.
There's a golden steak knife attached to her belt.
I'm gonna look at what's up with the blade?
Oh, we're engaged.
Sorry.
She's going to look down and say, "Oh, it's Lumilia's oath blade." In Ardor, you give them to somebody you have intimate feelings for. If I swear an oath on it, we'll be tied. But for now, it's not really working out that well between us.
Speaking of which, I need to butter the rolls. Could I borrow your knife, Andrea?
She's going to just have a very dull expression on her face as she takes it off her waist and hands it to you.
Cool. I'm gonna butter some rolls for her and not return the knife.
Yeah. At which point, if you give her the rolls and not the knife, she's going to say, I don't even care what my mom thinks anymore. Can you believe the nerve of her? Anyways, as she goes back to looking at the reports, I'm assuming Sergei lets her look at the reports.
I give them.
Yes, because I'd be like, this is my Arcanist, Andrea.
Thank you.
She is kind of the smartest person among us.
She has the highest intelligence. Second lowest wisdom.
She's the most knowledgeable with magic among us.
Okay.
Yes, you should be as afraid as you're thinking.
Yeah, no. Well, I've already got slapped like a bitch.
You deserve that.
Yeah.
Don't agree to that.
Andrea is going to just pore over these reports while she just kind of eats. If anybody else wants to sit next to her and read them, you're welcome to make any of the checks I listed earlier: flat intelligence or Arcana
I'm
check.
next to her, but I already aced this.
Yeah.
I will try.
So I'm eating wheat noodles.
I rolled amazing. What did it say?
I'll try as well.
I'm gonna eat.
Yeah, I don't know magic.
So, Rob Stradora did ace this, and she does understand these, but I gave you information of Stradora thumbing through them. I didn't give you information of she sat there and read the entire report, page by page. Is that, I don't want you to be upset if I give the party, more information.
No, that's perfectly understandable. And I'm of the mindset that it was basically, I thumbed through it, I nailed the whole surface level thing there, and made the decision that I needed to call in an expert. And I have given my expert,
All
my
right.
adorable expert, the papers. So it's her problem now.
So, Anderson,
Yeah.
they use magic in Alona sometimes on prisoners to find out things. Fascinating.
Amazing. Amazing. Clearly,
everything-
no one.
Everything about my world's changed.
Wait, other people use magic to do things?
Yeah. As Andrea thumbs through the pages, sets them aside, Anderson reads over the page. Anderson turns it upside down. It just turns it back.
This, I'm just
yeah, puts it down. Kenneth reads it next. Kenneth, you are taking time to go through this. You're gonna get about the same level of information as Stradora. There are two reports here. Pouring through it, they had one Arcanist come in, no, not an Arcanist. They had a member of the Sunyeth come in under a zone of truth and investigate this person. They had several different questions that they asked, and the criminal confessed to the crime. That said, there were witnesses to these that were additionally questioned. The witnesses had stories and accounts that lined up with what they learned in the Zone of Truth. Asking or going to the second report, the learning from details of this, they hired an arcanist to go out and retrieve evidence and things that would align with these reports. That said, the arcanist was unable to find many of the key things that would kind of tie this together. After you guys finish reading this, Oswandria is going to put down the last page and say that well, I feel like, yeah, she just kind of speak up and say that there were multiple witnesses in here they questioned too. I don't think somebody modified her memory unless they modified the memory of everybody available.
Or
Yeah.
selectively chose people that they already had modified.
I think it's more likely that her mind wasn't modified, but perhaps she was controlled. There's spells that could dominate people because the witnesses saw what they saw.
What exactly did they see?
Say that again?
What exactly did they see?
So the first, well, I'll tell you. There's two. The first one it was a criminal den that this lady walked into. She was meeting with a prominent a person who worked with transportation and shipping in Dockensdale. When they sat down to meet, the person went into the other room. When she came back, or rather she heard screamings from the other room. When she saw in the other room, she saw Talia attacking the different people of the room, and she hid. Talia did not notice her when she finally was done, and she looked over. The crime, or rather the guy who ran the shipping business was dead. A couple of people were knocked out, and Talia walked away. The second place, the story is pretty much similar, and except at that place, she killed the person that she met with, and all three of that person, or rather, both of that person's bodyguards. The witness saw her there and saw her leave. He also did not witness the actual act.
I think you might be right about the fact that it might be something more. It's not modifying her memory, but it still seems sketchy.
Does anything connect the people she's killed?
What about the divinations? What specifically did they try to divine on them?
Oh. So from the locations, they tried to get evidence that she was there, other than just the witnesses saying she was there. They used a spell called Legend Lore. The spell reveals 3 truths. and they investigated from those truths.
Did it
Additionally,
list what the truths are? Sorry to interrupt.
oh, I would say it does, but Brandon, the dungeon master, doesn't have those
Fair
exactly rolled up. But yeah, I would say for your purposes, what the spell returned would be written in the reports. Oh, upon putting together the riddles and going and looking for harder evidence on these clues, and using spells like locate object in these areas, they did not find anything that placed her there.
So-
Maybe this might be a bit of a stretch. Maybe she was kind of a. Is there any spell that you can use to teleport to an individual besides? I doubt that they would use Triverse to plants, but because that means that there would be a high level natural caster. But there could be some other object that might be used to teleport someone to go in there, so she might not have done the killing herself, but someone else did the killing afterwards, the accomplice. And she was kind of a beacon or waypoint, so to speak.
Wait, hold on. Let me think. Because now I'm thinking from the report stance as a character, and the report is not a character that is able to talk to you. Let me think for one moment and reorientate myself in this scene of like who is here. Yeah, okay, so Aswandria is here, not the sheets. Aswandria is going to say, yeah, but I can see why a Lilna guy would want to avenge the death of their citizens. She doesn't seem like she's that capable of magic. Why walk into a place and kill people with your own hands if you can just disintegrate them?
What if, and hear me, so the thing that we're trying to reconcile is that the person clearly thinks the person was put under zone of truth and said she did it. But the divination, and witnesses put her at the scene, but divination can't prove that she was there. So hear me out, what if my original hypothesis was right, but somebody, and Shador's gonna kind of point and kind of tap Aswandria's head. What if she wasn't there?
Another hypothesis, and he'll lift up the necklace that he has on. This.
Is it the anti-scrying necklace?
Yep.
Makes you immune to divination magic. She could lie underneath. She could lie under oath.
They would strip her of. They would probably strip her of that.
Assuming it was visible.
Assuming it was visible, or she wouldn't have it underneath the zone of truth, but during the killings, she could have it. So they wouldn't be able to be tracked at the time.
Feels too
I wonder if it
sloppy.
could be swallowed.
I don't know. It feels a little too sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like it's a lot of effort to try and get away with a crime while also being absolutely terrible about doing the crime. Like, if I'm gonna go through the kind of effort to hide my tracks, why am I just stabbing people in the middle of a den?
Aswandra's gonna nod at that and say, God, this is so juicy. I can't wait to get to Dockensdale. And she looks to Sergey and say, I mean, it's awful that all of these people lost their lives.
Oh, that actually reminds me. I'm gonna forget. I need to get you your gift. And I'm going to produce that spell book that we've been sitting on for like 6 sessions.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, there is no Mechalore here.
There's no Megalor.
Well, he also isn't the reckoner of spellbooks anymore.
Yeah.
By the way,
right.
I was so very close to having the meal be stewed falcon.
Question, Brandon. Do you still want me to roll? Did you see my message in chat?
No, I will not make you roll for that. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. I feel like at this point, Ostrandria is going to say, "I cannot spend a week walking to Dawkinsdale. Raina owes me one last favor. Or at least she should. We should ask her in the morning to teleport us to Dawkinsdale."
I mean, she could just use teleportation. The only thing is you need to send the Risen members there like a warning ahead of time, I'm pretty sure. Also, I can't leave the castle.
Ostrandria is going to speak up and say, "Why not?"
I was ordered to be here by a far greater power than your mother. God.
I'm just going to roll my eyes at that.
Which one?
I'm gonna lean over and I'm gonna give you the point to the eyes and the. Winsley has me under orders to be here until a gaggle of Risen members show up.
She's going to say, "You know there's a bunch of Elunagian emissaries inside the castle right now. They were meeting with my mom earlier.
Yeah, wasn't that Dila?
Some of them."
Yes, the Ilderon was here.
I wonder if they've shown up. You'd think that I would get summoned, but nobody ever seems to care that I'm here.
Mm-hmm. They probably just threw them with the rest of them.
Well, I mean, if the Risen members are here, then technically speaking, I have to return to Alone the Guy at some.
That's the spirit.
You're comfortable asking Raina for a favor.
She's going to nod and say, I'm going to ask Headmistress Winrona first after I asked to enter her school, but...
That might actually be smarter to do that. I don't know if Raina knows the sigils to get into Dawkinsdale.
Has Ostrandria ever seen her spell book? Ostrandria is going to roll her eyes and say, yeah, she does. She knows a lot.
Well, okay then.
She's going to look at everybody and say, are you all comfortable teleporting again instead of walking? I know the last time it didn't go so well for us.
As long as you don't pile on top of me, that's fine.
Teleportation circle. It's much smoother. You can't actually, Stradora, I'm going to make an executive decision, say Stradora knows better. You can't actually screw up teleporting to a teleportation circle.
You cannot.
I mean, it's just like going through a tree, right? Oh well.
So-
Wait, what? Is that comparable?
Just looking at claws, just... What?
My dad's a druid.
But
What?
still, like going through a tree. What?
Makes sense to me.
That's not normal.
No, they
Why,
don't-
right, that's not normal?
Chatterer.
Yeah, it's
I'm
almost
just
as
Okay, granted.
I'm just gonna go back to eat my honey roll.
Okay, so we spend the night packing and getting ready. Ask Raina in the morning. If she says no, find another way. And hopefully catch Dila.
Ostrandria's raising her hand and she's gonna say, I'm gonna ask Dila tonight.
Okay. Pack and ask Dila tonight. Ask Raina in the morning. By the way, You're not listening to your mom at the moment? You don't have to raise your hand anymore.
No. I appreciate her respect for our attention and time.
Mhm.
I don't.
Hands her a honey roll.
I do
She takes it.
that.
All right. Yeah, I guess after a little bit more talking and finishing up dinner, Andrea is going to stand up and say, "Well, I'm already packed, and I'm not saying goodbye to my mother or Raina if I don't have to." So.
I'm not gonna say you should, but don't be surprised if they come looking for us then.
Maybe leave a
think
letter.
It would be best if you say something. I know you're on bad terms with them right now, but
At least tell one person here you trust.
at least say
My dad
goodbye.
knows,
He does live there.
and Maria knows.
Okay.
I need to find Maria before we leave.
I can escort you to dealers if you want, Aussie.
She'll nod and say, "Fine. If she is willing, we'll go in the morning. Otherwise, I won't ask. Or if she's willing, we'll go in the morning. I won't ask her to take us tonight. Then, I'll take care of your final affairs here because this is the last time I'm ever going to see this castle."
Don't
We'll
swear,
see
no-
what happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Andrea leaves the room.
I would like to look over the blue contract.
Okay.
Do I notice anything interesting?
Stradora and Andrea's name are now on the contract. They weren't originally. Nobody, to your knowledge, has altered it. While this does look like an official Illuminagian contract, I guess it's an item given to you by a god, so I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. The names on there, have they been adding up to what they told about themselves earlier?
Oh, yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you can roll me an insight check if you want. Or, I guess, an investigation check if you want.
Alright, I will do the investigation.
Right.
Yeah,
No, I don't!
I don't know. A lot of people gave you a lot of names today.
I don't remember much of it.
Yeah, you can go over them later, but for the most part, Strora, Kenneth, Anderson, these are the people I'm talking to. Alright. So for the night, Stradora and Andrea go to Dilo's quarters. And does anybody want to do anything before I fast forward? Because I would like to end the session, at least in Dockensdale. So I am going to kind of move us along. Go ahead.
After seeing after seeing Garrick look over that, as he's leaving to go to his room, Claw is going to tell Sergey, can I mind if I talk to you for a moment?
Of course. Why, what's up?
He's gonna. This is only if also none of the other party members followed him.
Yeah, you guys have a modicum of privacy outside.
Yep. He's gonna say quietly, "You will please only refer to me as Claw, by the way."
Of course. If you don't mind me asking, why do you ask me to continue by that name?
It's the name that everybody here knows me as.
Okay.
And it is the name the name that's written on that He points towards the blue contract. Is a name I only give to people who I trust. You I just met.
I
If it wasn't
understand.
for that thing, I would not have given it to you.
I understand.
Good. But besides that, I didn't want to make a scene, but I wanted to clarify that.
And I appreciate your honesty.
Trust me, there are still things that you don't understand.
Clearly. Like why one of your friends is so gleeful that I'm here.
Freedom
What?
is quite a beautiful thing. And with that, he will leave.
Just like, I'm going to dispense my Uruguay fortune cookie and be on my way.
And I just look out, I'm like,
You are free from my presence.
yep. I'm just like, I look at him as he's walking back, I'm like, oh, son of a... I just became a babysitter!
And your babysitter's wiser than you.
Alright.
Sorry, the kid you're babysitting is wiser than you. Have fun.
Stradora.
In my defense, I was bombarded with information.
Stradora, you and Asu Andrea are going to meet up with Dila. I don't think it's fair to fast forward through this roleplay.
Okay.
So, stepping into her quarters, would she be meditating already? Let me roll a... she would already, definitely be starting her trance. And as you step in, or rather, I guess as you knock on the door, there is it's slow to reply before finally she stands up and opens the door. Looks down at Stradora and Asu Andrea. She's going to say, Star, it's been years since you visited me. What are you doing in Arterserai?
Sonya's business.
She's gonna nod and gesture for you to come in. And she's going to say, and Princess, I've heard quite a few stories about you from your mother. Asu Andrea is going to wince with that. As you both step in, she's going to say, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I don't think it really behooves me, Auntie Dila, to, take Andrea's thunder, so I'll let her explain it.
Asu Andrea is going to say, I've been taught personally and instructed by the best mage and diviner and mind of arcane knowledge that Arterserai has to offer. I somewhat considered a prodigy at the things that and the tasks that she gives me to learn and understand. I know of your university, and I was hoping with the merits that I've already achieved that I would be allowed to study there. Dila is going to nod and say, well, we have a very rigorous entrance exam. You'll still be expected to take it. Asu Andrea nods. She's going to say, do you want to understand arcane magic better? Asu Andrea nods. Will you be guided and or will you be guided and informed and work within the laws of Alil Nagai? She nods. Dila is going to say, well, welcome to the university. Well done. Asu Andrea is going to look a little befuddled and say, wait, that's it? Dila is going to nod, and she's going to say, I heard the Maphis University is the most prestigious place to study magic, and you only asked me 2 questions to get in? Dila's going to shrug and say, as long as a mind's willing to learn, I'll teach them.
Dispersal of knowledge is kind of a cultural trait. We're big on teaching. Not so much on benchmarks or clothes.
Welcome to the nudist country.
She's going to going to, I guess, like, stretch a little bit as she goes and sits back down on the bed and says, those who traveled with me here will be teleporting back to the university. You're welcome to come along. I suppose I should say if it's okay with your mother, but I heard how that whole affair went earlier. I can assure you, you'll be safe within the walls of the Maphis University, though.
We actually had a follow-up there, Auntie Dila. We need to go to Dawkinsdale.
She's going to say, oh, and you're looking for somebody to take you there.
Yeah, given what you've already heard, we're not comfortable asking Ms. Renopulsaril.
Alright. I did meet 2 scribes, our risen members from Dawkinsdale. I suppose I can get the names of whoever controls the circle at Lancaster Watch. You know what? I'll just send Land Descending. I can drop you off there and be on my way. I don't know, it doesn't feel right to leave 2 princesses inside Dawkinsdale. A lot of trouble goes on in that city.
Well, if it helps at all, we would have a cleric, a nice adult noble, 2 other nobles, and an investigator whose affiliation I'm actually not sure of, but I believe he works at Lancaster Watch.
Dila's going to think on this for a moment and say, alright, well, you are a trained member of the Sunyeth. I trust you to properly look out for yourself inside of Dawkinsdale and not get into too much business. Or not get into too much trouble.
Please, a trait calendar getting into too much trouble. What do you think I am? That's not helping, is it?
She's going to laugh a little bit and say, well, my services are not for free. I will need something from you.
Oh no.
If the next time you see your father, you could have him head to the university. I would need probably 3 concentrated days to study with him.
Why do you want to meet with Dad?
Some things have arisen out of the convocation, and I acquire a greater understanding of the Forgotten Song. And who better to help deliver that understanding than one of its last few practicing members?
I'll see what I can do, but you know that means he's probably going to have to drag Law and Ren with him, right?
Dila's going to smile and say, I love children. I haven't seen them in ages either.
I forgot about that. You'd be ecstatic to see the boys. Well, since Andrew wants to go to the university anyway, and to get from Dawkinsdale to there, we have to pass through Marbleport, regardless. I can see what I can do about convincing Dad to come visit.
All right. She is going to. She's going to nod and say, "Well, Princess." She looks towards. When she looks towards Aswandra, she's going to say, "You are officially a Fearite of the Maphis University. When you earn a Daliite's attribution in an area of study of your choice, you can claim the title of Daliite. And until then, I will be very interested to see where your studies progress. For now, though, I need my rest, and we can travel in the morning."
Thank you, Dila.
Dila is going to nod. She gestures you guys out of the room. Aswandria is going to be ecstatic. She is now has a official title. All right. How about we skip through the night?
Bye by me.
Mm-hmm.
Jackal, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You know what I'm going to ask you.
Oh no.
How many nightmares do I have?
No, you don't have any nightmares. Do you use the mark?
Not tonight.
Okay. Anderson has a near restless night of sleep. However, you don't get entranced in. Well, actually, I'm sorry. I have to roll for it. Like, as much as I'd like to skip through, Anderson, you have a almost near restless night before you are able to actually slip into sleeping. Before you are finally woken up by the sounds of screams. At which point, you are leaning against a tree. Or at which point you are slumped against a tree, and you realize that you were not actually sleeping. You had been thrown into it and knocked unconscious. And you are just coming to. You are not in your body. You find yourself in Martlin's body. In front of you, you can see the scenes of a fight going on. There is a very strange creature. It is humanoid in shape. However, there are multiple appendages and tethers coming off of it, as it is almost attacking with grasping tentacles. There are about 8 different people around this thing using magic to fight it and moving about it. It attacks at one person, grabs them. As it connects with them, its entire form changes, and you see the person where all of these tethers are spawning from takes the shape, face, and appearance of the person it just wrapped in that tether. That person begins to scream and shift before they kind of dissolve into this thing. The thing begins speaking in a eldritch speech that I don't think Anderson understands. What languages
Not-
do you speak?
I speak Celestial, Common, Koi, and Undercommon naturally without using magic.
Okay. You are actually going to understand this. This thing
Wait,
is angry. It is. You don't know which language it's speaking in, but you just understand it. As it is shouting, it is telling them it will not be contained. It has been unleashed, and it has been wronged, and it refuses to go quietly into the dark. At which point, you can see these people are losing the fight against this. After a few minutes, 4 more people are going to join this fight. Leading these 4, you see Calfear, Calgaren, and you see 3 shattered tieflings running behind him. At which point, Calfear is going to come and kneel next to you. These 3 tieflings are going to run and get close enough to start casting a spell. This creature attacks them, doing the same thing, wrapping one of these tethers around them. The person actually does not dissolve. They scream in agony, but you can see the form of the creature tries to change, but it is unable to. At which point, the creature is going to say, "I'll see you yesterday," as the entire creature disappears, almost just fading completely out of existence as it dissolves. Calfear is going to lean down to Anderson, helping him to his feet, and say, "Dang, it is so infuriating. She is not bound by time. How can I beat her when she can just jump backwards?" He is going to look at Anderson and say, "I'm sorry, are you okay?"
I've been better.
Anderson and the remaining living mage guards are going to start licking their wounds, collecting themselves. You spend the night traveling back to your the horses and carriages that they brought here. Eventually lying down in the carriage and chit-chatting, you drift off. And you wake up on the morning of the 29th of Noble. You are Anderson again.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun to bring up. What the fuck? I'm just gonna rub my eyes as like I have like pretty bad bags under them because I have not had a decent night's sleep in a while.
Yeah, I feel like that would definitely be gathering. The party. Everybody is able to wake up. It is the 29th of Noble. I feel like the top of the morning, Asu Andrew would be knocking on everybody's door. Wait. Before we do, one event I did skip through the night. We won't end this session and getting to Dockensdale. We'll probably start the next session teleporting to Dockensdale. Willow, you said Lumilia during the night wanted to talk to Maria.
Yes, but I think I've changed my mind. I think I'll just write her a letter.
Okay, we will.
I don't want to roleplay it right now.
Okay, we will. And do you want to start there next session? Because I want to make sure I'm being fair.
Sure. Either way.
Okay. We'll end here for the night, and we'll have some time to talk about it. What I am learning from the nobles is, like every really great epic session we have, I always say, I really wish I would have ended that session 10 minutes earlier so we could have a week to think on this. So I'm going to learn from myself, and I'm going to end the session 10 minutes earlier than I was expecting to, and we'll have a week and a half to think on it. All right. So yeah, that's where we're ending for tonight. The party added a new player to their group. You got your quest of power. Alexander is gone. Anderson had another troubling dream. And the event with Asu Andrea is resolved with her, at least how she feels about Reyna and Ariana. So, what is that? 4 major ticks of experience, I guess. And, I guess I'm going to give minor experience for Stradora's storyline. I don't have a grand narrative planned for Stradora, because Rob, you and I have, talked about this a little bit in the background. I don't have like a grand narrative, but I feel like Stradora had some pretty cool character growth tonight. And I don't know if there's anything else meriting experience. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Besides me,
Amelia actually got to cook.
I cooked. Yes.
Amelia got to fill out her dream of chantry of yumminess or whatever.
And I dissolved the engagement.
Oh yeah, you did. That wasn't originally part
Very
of...
sneakily.
That wasn't the original part of Lumilia's personal story, but it does advance her narrative. Alright, so...
I feel like I get -1 just for getting the quickest ever for someone to ever get slapped after meeting.
I don't think you are, actually.
No.
3,000 experience for tonight.
Nice.
Ain't even them.
And let's see. I'm gonna give inspiration to Anderson and Lumilia.
Woo!
I already
I
have
get.
Huh?
I already have 2.
Okay.
Can I turn it into XP for people? Or just give it to someone else?
You can roll for a replacement.
Yeah, you can replace one. Or I will say Claw did have some pretty nice moments tonight too.
I support it going to Claw.
All right, let's see. Anderson first, Claw second. All right. And let's plan your guys'
normal inspiration. I already have a normal inspiration.
You guys got
You
it.
can have 2.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it's
don't fight much.
well.
Oh man, just you wait till you get to Dawkinsdale.
I want to point out, one is a prayer for a first level spell, and the other one is impose disadvantage. I haven't needed to impose disadvantage yet.
Okay, that's fair. Your next session is going to be on the 26th of September. So 3,000 experience, and we'll meet up on the 26th of September. Everybody watching tonight, thank you for watching, and I'm going to go to the end card.
Gute Nacht.
Yeah.